Oh boy. Hello. We're trying out something fun today. It's gonna be a good ol' high elf day, but I will be trying to win with silver helms. That's the goal. Now obviously we don't have armor piercing. Faction or a tournament starting. Obviously we won't have armor piercing, but I have a solution. And that is what we shall be implementing today. Alright, lube. Sorry for not streaming for a while, by the way. Life has been busy. Hopefully things will settle out in a bit. Let's see, what are they playing? Chaos Dwarves? Oh boy. On Celestial Lake, this is a terrible map for High Elves. And matchup. Alright. But yeah, Silver Helms. Got a feeling this will be a short stream. Number of games is set. We don't have to worry about that. Whether or not we get annihilated, though, we'll see. Got traumatized by Petonia and had to take a break. Petonia is pretty spicy. I heard you won with it though, Pope Patty. Well, you told me, right? Congratulations, good sir. How'd you do it? What madness did you do? Alrighty. Hey, Veresturung. Thank you so much. 2 years worth of members, dang. Thank you, good sir. Yo, this should be pretty exciting. Look at this. Look at this Plague of Rust madness. So the idea is I have 2 Plague of Rust casters and all cap. Wait, that actually is a perfect spend? Insane. Okay, so look at this. Witness true power. Who needs armor piercing? Even. So if I just like spam only like cap and just do my usual shenanigans, but then I have Plague of Rust to hard carry, do we just crush face? Is this the insanity build? Maybe. Let's try it out with this first. Alright, here we go. Good luck, have fun. God, this is a dumb build. This entirely hinges on Plague of Rust hard carry. The only good debuff spell. Yeah, Metalcaster Lord. Gotta support the non-armor piercing knights. Yo, by all measures, High Elf Cavalry is actually insane. Oh, is my mic the right mic? Okay, should be. Hopefully it's not too loud or anything. Although it was quiet before, so I think that's why I increased it. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, Cav Maxin. Is Cav Maxin time? You've been missed? Yee. Life is the busy. Alright. Apparently this is quite a new player, so we'll get to bully him to start off. Oh boy, this is absurd. This is actually absurd. So the reason why Silver Helms are good is that they actually have insane stats. Martial Mass or Prowess increases their melee stats. So they'll have 36 melee attack. And 36 melee attack, 36 melee defense. That is really high for cavalry. On top of 64 charge bonus, 84 speed, and 100 armor. This is amazing for 900 gold. You can even get even more melee defense with the shielded ones. This is absurd, right? All of this, in theory, is really good. The only problem is that High Elves, they just lack armor piercing. So where these guys would be exquisite in any other situation, on the High Elves, maybe a little less so. Because you don't always want non-armor piercing cab. But with Plague of Rust, we can overcast it to get minus 60 armor. And then in theory, everything dies. The end! They have Cathay. Are they a problem? No, only 80 armor. Just gotta charge their faces in, right? I can work on getting my boys. Getting the Dragon Princes for a bit more armor piercing damage. That'll be very fun. A couple Dwarf Warriors over there, a little terrifying. The only problem is that my casters are on foot, so that part's a little awkward. Don't know how I want to deal with that. Look at him bracing. Bracing for the charge. He's gonna cast some foul magic our way, but I'll be fine. And as soon as I get the Plague of Rust dudes over here and the Dragon Princes and such, oh, we'll be set for life. Oh, we'll be set. First things first, so let's shut down this little artillery glob. Oh no, that was not Flaming Sword. That was the other thing. Very interesting. Alright, so he's gonna send some of these dudes in. But as you know, right, this cavalry is really good versus non-armored units, so they should do pretty well versus basic hobgoblins. As you can see here, lots of damage, right? And yeah, high elf cavalry really good versus non-armored units. Now obviously the armored guys are a little bit more problematic. But this is how we're gonna deal with them. Plague of Rustarino. On the Cathay, does it work? That's the big question. That's basically how this entire build functions. If it doesn't work, we're boned. But you can see the damage is insane. What the crap? Half HP off the Cathay immediately. Actually insane. Okay, wait, yo, dude. I just spent 6 winds of magic to kill his hyper elite monstrous infantry. Dang. All right. How long does this last? Still 15 more seconds? Okay. That's actually insane. Okay, wait. Wait, I can cav max with this. Holy hell. I know Cathay are usually absolutely insane and difficult to deal with. If this is how today's gonna go, I think I'm pretty happy. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Plague of Rust, best spell. Now, I think these characters are gonna need to be on horses. Them lagging behind is so devastating for me. We can't really afford to let that happen. Otherwise, we're screwed. I'll be able to get Dragon Princess here soon, by the way. Alright, so let's see, how do we deal with these Chaos Dwarf Warriors, right? That's what we're kind of looking at here. Right? If I Plague of Rust them and charge like this, then we're good. It's streaming, it's alive. Yeah, we're back. What's up, Twitch chat? Dave, what's up? Holy crap, Plague of Rust is busted. These are Chaos Dwarf Warriors. I'm killing them with the Silver Helms. Dude, Silver Helms are actually cracked. Are you kidding me? Literally the only thing holding them back is their armor piercing. Like the moment I give them AP, they just start killing it. What the crap? GG. Oh my gosh. Wait, is this actually going to be like something I can whip out in the grand finals? It's actually pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. Holy moly. How about the season finals? We made it to top 8. I beat Tim the Wilder. He actually took a game off me with Lizardmen into my chaos. Absurd. But that's Tim for you. Terrifying player. Okay, wait. So obviously we put them on steeds, right? Do I want an eagle? We can cause fear. I could get a moon dragon if I really wanted to, but that seems excessive. Huh? Yeah, this is actually nuts. You can see why they don't have AP. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have much AP to speak of at all. A decent amount. Like they're still really good cavalry, but jeez, man. Holy moly. Okay, we can definitely work with this. So we have 2 horse characters. I don't think I need so many books of Hoeth. I think like maybe just the 1 and the Starwood staff. I obviously cannot run out of magic. 6 casts or 10 casts of Plague of Rust is 60 winds of magic. I need enough winds of magic to go all the way, right? I've got to actually... gotta make sure we don't run out, because the moment I run out, we're just dead. And oftentimes people will bring more than 10 armored units. Or what, like 13-ish? What makes them so good? It's their stats are actually cracked. Everything is super high except for their armor piercing. Martial prowess. Like, look at this guy. Right? Plus martial prowess. 36 melee attack is actually really, really high for cavalry. If you take a look at... So remember the number, 36, right? If you compare that to Beastmen cavalry... Let's take a look. I think Beastmen cavalry is pretty good, right? 24. Dang. Wait. Okay, yeah. Because Beastmen cavalry, they really don't have that much. They use their primal fury, but that only gets it to 29. That's crazy. So you can see their charge bonus is worse, right? You know, even if you get the armor piercing variant. It's nothing crazy. The leadership is garbage. They have no armor. They're fast, yeah. If you look at Empire Cavalry, you know, these guys cost $850, so they are cheaper. They don't have the speed, though. They're really lacking on speed. Leadership and armor is there. Melee defense and melee attack still lacking, though. 26 melee attack. We're talking like a 10 melee attack difference. And higher charge bonus on the Silver Helmsman. Let's take a look at, let's take a look at Seekers. So we'll take a look at this Silver Helm and compare them to Seekers. So speed-wise, Seekers are faster. They obviously have no armor, less HP, less leadership. They have less charge bonus. But they do have stats. Now, you gotta remember, we have plus 12 melee defense from martial prowess, which we'll be making use of most of the time. So essentially, if they were armor piercing, you basically have a much tankier Seeker of Slaanesh. With better charge bonus. It's crazy. Actually crazy. Boar Boys is the best. What are their stats? Do Boar Boys have stats? Or are they just high damage and they need the magic to buff them up? Technically, all greenskin units have plus 40 melee attack. But yeah, no one really has the melee attack values of Silver Helms except for Seekers. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So that's what we're going to be working on. I do need to figure out my spendings though. So I could put my mage on the bird if I really wanted to. Dude, a charge from Silver Helms on heroes probably hurts quite a bit too. With the whole Plague of Rust situation. I could get a dragon. Dragon obviously offers a lot. I think the dragon offers actually quite a bit. I might want to have them in. And then maybe we leave this person in reserve. This makes potentially a bit more sense. Yeah, they're actually really good for the price. Legit, the reason High Elves can't do Silver Helm strats is because the entire roster lacks armor piercing. So like, let's say they had Way Watchers. This is why, by the way. This is why Wood Elves are so good. And also why High Elves are so good into Wood Elves. Because they just have better cavalry, right? These are better than Wild Riders. Because of all that sick armor. But, and Wood Elves don't have armor. So, they just get completely outclassed. In general, High Elves do really well versus factions that can't spam armor. Now, how do I finagle the spendings? I do really like the Moondragon. He's playing Grand Cathay. Oh, boy. If he's playing Grand Cathay, do I even want the Moondragon? What's the map? Edge of the Darkwood. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to workshop this. Is there a reason to bring normal dragon princes? Dragon Princes are also insane. They have crazy stats. They got the physical resist, the fire resist. They have martial mastery, which is a way higher melee attack boost. They have 44 melee attack. If they had armor piercing, they would be terrifying cavalry. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I already changing it to 2-0? The game didn't start yet. BM Indicity? Already? How much money do I have? 600? I can finagle some money like this. But yeah, Dragon Princes should be pretty good. I found that they're quite strong. Okay, let's try this. Oh boy, I'm so excited. Feels like Cathay will cannonball the cavalry. You think you think the strategy to defeat cavalry is to take defenseless artillery? I actually go whenever I teach people how to play the game. The first misconception I tell them is that artillery is not for damage dealing. Artillery makes your opponent attack you. So if your opponent is already planning to attack you, artillery only makes it worse. Now, there's a few pieces of artillery that will be able to actually get good DPS in, like the Sunmaker and such. But by far, the most common misplay that I see people make is they will take too much artillery. Now, Opal Bear Black is pretty scary. They might be able to do a defensive play here. But if they play super tight around their artillery, I'll probably just hide in the trees. And in terms of anti-cav, it can be pretty scary. Like Grand Cathay and Dwarves do have pretty scary cannonballs, but I do think I'd just be able to rush his face down. In this case, though, we're going to see some Long Marauders, some Jade Lions, a Woojing War Compass. These things have 90 armor, so Plague of Rust will make them ultra squishy. A Zhao Ming and an Alchemist. Okay. Nothing too scary, not a lot of armor, which we appreciate here. I think what we do, because there's literally no range right now, is I just take the skirms. Dude, this cavalry actually feels really fast. I like it. I tried a Norska Cav Max the other day, and I found the Kurgans to only be okay. Not having armor on them was a little rough, so I'm very happy to have the silver helms here this day. And there's the capture point. Now, do I want more Plague of Rusting? I think I do, since we're seeing Jade Warrior Halberd spam. I could solve that with a little bit of spice. Unfortunately, my Plague of Rust is not here quite yet. These guys hurt, by the way. These Reaver Archers, they're quite good. I do like them. Alright, here we go. So we're just gonna hokey poke. If Zhao decides to dive in, I will armor debuff him and give him that fat charge. There you go, capture point number 1 is secured. So is Zhao going to go for it? What a mad lad, he actually goes for it. Alley-oop. Alright, nice. But you're not used to dying to silver helms, Zhao. Oh boy. Dude, look at him, he's running. Oh, he doesn't like it. Oh, what's that? What? How much armor do you have? 40? Oh, he's getting dumpstered. The melee attack is insane. Alright, he's gonna chuck out a Plague of Rust soon, though. He is not having a good day, though. That is pain. What the crap? This is actually the best cavalry in the entire game. How have I missed this? Dude, he just got dumpstered by silver helms. Oh my god. All right, here we go. Just kill him. Just kill him, right? He's not even flying. He can't heal. The guy is mega chump change, man. Talk about a misplay, though. Oh, Zhao. Oh, what is that? You thought my silver helms were weak? Not a chance, good sir. Not a chance. I'm gonna normal cast on your long marauders. Turn them into paper. Oh, there they go. Best cavalry in the game confirmed. Now, he did get a pretty sick final transmutation on my lord. That's fine. She's cheap. The long marauders are now dead. And we're just gonna get our supreme cavalry here and just continue to punch his face in. Did the lord just terror out to Zhao? Dang, what a guy. Well, you know, she'll come back though. That's what matters. Oh crap, did we catch the caster? I think we did. She's gonna... Yeah, I don't want to get counter charge here though. Ooh, this could be a good fight though. If I can get that Plago Rust on these Jade Lancers soon. That'd be sick. Yeah, beat him up. Get that charge on him. That'll get him. Zhao's just straight dead. Ain't no solving that. And my lord shall live. Now, unfortunately, he will be able to play keep away. I am technically faster, so we're still getting a bit of damage, but nothing too insane. Can we kill the Zhao, though? It doesn't seem like it yet. Yo, thank goodness for the big map, though. I feel like this is a really good build on these kind of giant maps. I can see the defensive formation being thrown together. That's not going to save him, though. We're going to get yet another skirmisher. Oh, and they got caught. They got caught by the cavalry, even for a second. And the Plague of Rust damage just destroying them. There goes Zhao, so goodbye. And then, yeah, what, you're just gonna box? You're just gonna sit over here? I don't think so. We're gonna win on tickets. Brutal. What a brutal game. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yo, what are these? We got some peasant long spearmen. Not a problem. I think this game's totally over, man. Dude, losing Zhao like that is actually just devastating. I don't think that's recoverable. There's also no harmony here, which is going to be double ouch. I think what we do here is we just charge this guy. Don't get final transmutation. Get that little debuff going. Yeah, and I just gotta play keep away. You can see he wants it real bad, right? The final transmutation, it calls to him. Oh crap. Got some crowmen over there. I gotta make sure I don't get stuck in the fight for too long. Those that can definitely get a little sketchy. But yeah, with this much cavalry, there's really not a whole lot that can be done. That's a comet to the face. Oh, that's a yeah, it's a Woojing war compass. That explains a lot. Well, maybe. Honestly, I'm playing a little sloppy here because this battle's basically done. It's a bad habit. But yeah, the summoning of the crowmen. I know the Silver Helms cook crowmen like crazy, so there really shouldn't be too much of a threat. There goes the caster. Very nice. And then I can just start bullying these peasants. Are they going to brace? Not enough. Not well enough. So they're just going to get fat charged over there. And then my lord, she just has to play keep away. Now I'm noticing I still have way too much magic. We can definitely adapt this build. Man, does it feel good though. Holy crap. Alright. So that's a win for us. Whew. GG. Plague of Rust, man. Plague of Rust. It's good. Best debuff spell in the entire game. It's almost like when debuffs last 40 seconds. Life will be good. Very nice. Yeah. So Silver Helms, the numbers are true. They actually become Seekers of Slanesh when you remove armor. They don't have the flanking, but the damage is basically there. And more charge bonus to make up for the lack of the double charge bonus from flanking that Seekers get. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And I'm not even microing this perfectly. We can do better. We can do better. Eastlyn and Sisters. Aeson's way too expensive, man. Look at him. On foot, he costs 2,000. Look at this guy. If you take him with nothing, he costs 950. That is insane. So if you take just Master of the Mist, you're paying 1,100 already, but you have a useless Lord. If you want it to be slightly useful, you get a hyper expensive dragon at 2,600. Master of the Mist is good though. I think they reduced the reload skill though. I swear it was higher than 20 before. It used to like rapid fire. Now it's like, it feels so weak. 20 reload skill is worse than Hand of Glory. This is garbage. There was a day when Ent said buffs and debuff spells were trash, utter trash. I always had an exception for Plague of Rust. People misremembering. Though, I will say, I do wonder if there is another... The thing is, this would actually be worse if I was using, like, Occam's Mind Razor. Plague of Rust will more than double the damage of the Silver Helms. And it's cheaper. It severely outclasses any other form of damage increase. I will say, though, the Withering is very tempting, but it's only minus 30 armor. Minus leadership is good, though. Enfeebling Foe wouldn't really work well. Surely there's got to be something here that works. Hand of Glory now. Yeah, I don't think anything outclasses Plague of Rust. Curse of the Midnight Wind, reduce the melee attack. Too expensive, though. Way too expensive. Now, I could use some other spell shenanigans. But honestly, Rust is just insane. My Silver Helms can kill Cathay. I don't know what else I really need. Bleak Swords. Oh, yeah. We're talking about Ship's Company. Ship's Company are not bad, though. They get the job done as a 400 gold infantry unit, but they don't do anything more, really. Fellow Warhammer 3 player, hell yeah. Helms were your first, now you're practicing Empire. I would say they're both pretty good. They come with a lot of the same stuff, just Empire has more gunpowder, which can help a lot. Flaming Sword. I should set up Nightbot to just ban anyone that says Flaming Sword. I wouldn't, though. I wouldn't. I'm tempted, but nah. It would be funny, but like people would just accidentally get banned. Can't have that. You won for the first time? Hell yeah, man. Good on you. You're always a good milestone. Once you can win once, you can win again. Just keep going forever. Yo, I think for this caster, I should probably have another spell. Like, Plague of Rust is good, but I have way too much Winds of Magic. I should take, like, a Final Transmutation on them. I think that's what really seals the deal here. Because these kind of hard boxes can really bully my cavalry, if I'm not careful. We'll make them a little bit more expensive. I can make them even more expensive. Even more expensive if I want to. And then at that point, I might as well start with them, right? So how would one even this out? I can almost get a Dragon Prince in here. But not quite. This Golden Hound's good for chaff clearing. I've tried it. Never been too impressed. I can start with the Reavers, actually. I don't need that many starting cav units. I think this is a sick build, though. I'm really liking it. I just need to get the expenditures all lined up properly. Yo, the stat increase. Yeah, if you want to clear infantry with the lore of beasts, you don't have too many options, sadly. Oh, who's unkillable? Let me see. Astrogoth. Oh yeah, dude, Astrogoth is insane. He's so tiny, you can't really shoot him. He just runs around punching faces in. All right, yeah. How do I up this build though? I feel like there's space for improvement, guys. Whoopsie daisies. I feel like 100% there is definitely some untapped potential. This is crazy good. We haven't been playing versus like Charks and whatnot, but like a lot of the top players will go for Kite. So having a Cav Max build is already kind of good versus them. Flensing Har. Oh yeah. Good old Flensing Har. I don't even remember what it does exactly. Is that the one that reduces vigor? Yo, if people whip out the crazy Flensing Har tech for the tournament, that would be exciting. A lot of players could be hiding away. Hiding their mega strats. They'll all come out for the tournament. Yeah, if you ignore Astrogoth, then he kind of gets screwed over. That's the problem with any kind of slow, tiny character. He is slightly faster though, but yeah, just ignoring him, it works. Seriously though, what's the last thing? I feel like I'm so close to glory, but I just cannot for the life of me figure out what makes this build better. Because obviously single entities are not really a problem with Double Plague of Rust and Final Transmutation. I have Searing Doom to win Cav fights if I want. Do I want Glittering Robe to counter Plague of Rust? That would be so funny if people start running this as a counter. It technically, if someone Plague of Rust you, Glittering Robe counters them, and you save on a Winds of Magic. Insane. But armor has diminishing returns. If I had low armor cavalry and I cast Plague of Rust, then they would live. He's playing better Bretonia. It kind of feels that way. Bretonia, this build actually has better armor clear options than Bretonia. Do you really need infantry cap weight for this build? No, cavalry have 4 cap weight. Doesn't say here, but they cap at 80% of the speed of infantry, and we're so maneuverable. Like, you know, I'm here to kill my opponent, not to dilly-dally on the points. And if I did bring infantry, they'd probably outcapture way me anyways, because my stuff is so expensive. Does anyone know? Okay, nobles suck now, right? Nobles garbage. Nothing to see here. Handmaiden of the Everqueen. Character that no one ever brings. Nets or summons? Summons could be pretty fun. Get the reserve Mist Mage? Okay. I could kind of see this, actually. Like, you get the reserve Mist Mage for, like, the Oceanid summon. This guy's cheap, too. Holy crap. 550? Wait, dude, that's actually insanely cheap. I would rather have a Mist Mage than a couple of Illyrian Reavers in reserve. You bought a Handmaiden, you mad lad. Absolute mad lad. This is kind of cool. Wanted to say thanks for giving us such fun off-meta strats. Ain't no problem. Honestly, this is also exploring more of the game. Like, at this point in my tournament career, I don't learn very much from, like, you know, playing Wood Elves and taking 4-way Watchers for the umpteenth time, right? I don't think I really become much of a better player. Now, like, you know, it's good to play those builds as efficiently as possible, so learning a few things will definitely help. But at this point, I really just need to learn, like, the nitty-gritty tiny pockets of gameplay. Because, yeah, like, that I need to cover all my blind spots, essentially. So, I like to think it helps a bit. Although, if I actually wanted to be super try-hard, I would probably only main a few factions. With some, like, experimenting only like 50% of the time. And the rest is just tuning up the factions that I plan to play. I think that's what most people do. This is really good, though, in case the meta ever shifts. Having a bunch of playstyles. There is that, at least. Huh. But yeah, so if I run this Mist Mage, it feels like I'll probably... Like, I think I spend enough of my magic with this, where I don't need the Mist Mage. I do think they are really cool, though, and Oceanids with the Kite build definitely have a lot of potential. How would this build handle air units? So I'd use the Reaver Archers to shoot at them, and then just capture all the points, because I have so much cav. Is this the all cav high elves? How do you handle skin wolves? Dude, you just charge them. Are you kidding me? These guys delete skin wolves. The stats are too good. 64 charge bonus on a 900 gold cavalry. This is like skin wolves only have a few hundred HP, so if they get charged by a couple units of cavalry, I think they just straight up die. Like, you'll be losing skin wolves left, right, and center. Man, I do really like the Mist Mage. Do I want more Reavers, though? I feel like the Reavers are actually less useful here. I don't see a huge benefit to having them, unless I'm, like, rushing and I really just want to get units there as soon as possible. It's the most strong infantry that Phoenix Guard can beat. They can beat quite a bit of infantry in a vacuum, I think, because they have super high melee defense. Though I'm not entirely sure how that pans out. Like I said, I have better broad knowledge, less specific knowledge. Man, there's really got to be something here. Okay, we got our next opponent, though. Yo. Today is good day. Let's send him the code. By the way, tomorrow we're going to be playing in the grand finals. Very exciting. I'm low-key ultra terrified because I have a title to uphold. I feel pretty well practiced, though. I've been practicing with a lot of people. What's Zeteran playing and what map are we on? Imperial Road, okay. And they're playing the Vampire Counts. Interesting. So this is a very unconventional build versus Vampire Counts. I will probably need to change things up. High Elves are already good against them, so like... Yeah. I don't know if I should double down on this, though it would certainly be very fun. Especially if they bring a Dragon Lord. I just charge him to death. Let's see. Let us see. Final Transmutation can be pretty good versus Vampire Counts too. I do look forward to that. Being able to summon Oceanids is nice, and we're going to be trying to kill Graveguard with our sick leadership reduction. Can Phoenix Guard beat Bloodwakes? Absolutely not. Dude, Wrathmongers are, like, they're just the best. They're just the best infantry in the entire game. They, yeah, they're better, and they probably win the 1v1s too. It's like a whole unit of heroes just squished together. High damage heroes. Just caught up? Hell yeah. Alright, Vampire Counts. So, Tempest is actually quite scary against Vampire Counts. But do I need Tempest here? Or do I just need more Plague of Rust casts? I don't know. I think Illyrian Reavers are probably not as good here, though. Like, I think I should sub out the Reavers. I do kind of just want to stress test the build, though. But let's not be insane. If you're playing versus Vampire Counts, you almost always just need to have a couple Archers. Because they're the only unit with high enough DPS and total damage that they can deal to actually punch through all that HP. Now, I think I got a text. What is this? Ah, yes, my phone plan stuff. Alright, we're good. Let's see if we can do this. Can we defeat the vampire counts? Your Happy Corn has the best infantry unit. It fits well. Oh yeah, I would not nerf Wrathmongers anymore at this point. They were a little too strong earlier because they were too fast. So, like, there's not much you could actually do to them. They would just chase you down, chase your cav down, dodge arrows and all that. So you wouldn't have time to shoot them, even if you did have the right counters. Now they're a bit slower, so they lose things that you would expect them to. Like, you know, kite and so on and being shot to death. But they still absolutely crush anytime they find anything in melee. Just absolute terrors. Now, obviously taking Cav Max versus Vampire counts is a little absurd. I probably would not do this in an actual tournament. But the reason I wanted to take a look at this is because if I can actually get out the DPS to clear Vampire counts, it means the build has enough DPS to clear anything. Techless does not have Plague of Us, sadly. So we're going to have to stick with these usual mages. Oh, crap. I didn't notice it readied up. Didn't get my sound cue. But, yeah, we're just going to alley-oop. Just go straight dead ahead. We're going to finish capturing the point. And with Vampire counts, you always want to capture points quite quickly. Because you're going to have a lot of HP to deal with, right? Now, as we just learned, 3 units of cavalry capture a point. They capture a point before... Just skeleton warriors. What is this? Nothing. This is a nothing burger. They capture the point before they actually get off of it. So you can just keep running at full speed. And then what we're going to do... So we're just gonna start bullying. We're just gonna start bullying. It should be a fun time. I can save up for some final transmutations on this lady. Gonna see, obviously they're gonna brace for impact to reduce the damage. But it's not like my cavalry takes a lot of damage here anyways. I'm gonna reduce the armor on those skeletons just so I can kill them a bit faster. Plague of Rust is cheap. So I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of fine doing this. I guess, it's a little awkward. It is just a wee bit awkward. And you can see skeletons, they don't really take a lot of damage in general. So that's a little unfortunate. I think that's a slight misplay. I could have gone a better final transmutation here, but what can you do? At the very least, I will be able to kill the skeletons and probably steal the point. Then we want to get the big boys in. The big... Skillet cavalry. You can see these. I don't know why people keep running dog units, by the way. They keep running dog units against cavalry. They like got nerfed super hard. They're technically anti-large, but I think people are getting way over their heads about them. Also, dang, this could be a sick play. Give it a second. I think we're about to final transmute her face. And you know what? If I can just army wipe him, I don't care if he captures the middle, right? Like, this lady's gonna be taken to Pound Town very soon. We're gonna have some cavalry rear charging over here. We got the Dragon Princess coming in. Dude, she might just be massacred here. Final transmutation hurts. Woo, okay. Big lady, big vampire lady does hurt too, though. Gotta be a little careful. I gotta be a little careful about over-blobbing too. That can often lead to many issues. What's her armor? She does have a lot of armor, so I will need to get her there. This overall, though, is pretty good for me, though. Just because we're killing vampire counts units away from the corpse carts, right? We're killing them before they can heal and all that, so I think we're in an okay position. She casts an overcast heal to try and save herself. I don't think that's gonna do it though. And then the Dragon Princes are gonna play around with some Graveguard perhaps. She gets a zombie summon, so I can't cycle charge her like I did Zhao. Dragon Princes are scary though. You got a very nice charge over there. And then if I can crumble these zombies down, potentially we can just kill her. That's the hope anyways. It's gonna be a hot second though. You can see my opponent's gone for all the capture points too. Gotta be a little wary. But if I can just kill this Lord, I'm happy. Oh, big charge! Big impact charge from the boys. We're gonna give these Grave Guard a bit of loving. There you go. 30 armor Grave Guard. Nasty. Alright, how the Dragon Princess doing though? Not the best situation. We're still obviously up trading. I do have their point, which is good. But if I can't kill this Lord, life is going to get more difficult for sure. As you can see, she's grinding pretty well with all that zombie support. We don't like that. She will be getting her support here soon too. That's also pretty sketchy. But she has used most of her magic at least, which I think is good for us. I just really want to get the kill though. I think I'm being too greedy though. And she'll probably be able to make it out of here if I am not careful. Though the Dragon Princes are really strong. Alright, they are Fireborn. They were made for this. I think what we're going to do... I should be spending my money. Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're going to get some infantry here to clear off his units on the side. And then we're going to just drop it like it's hot, right? Just a fat final transmutation on her face. She will live, but the damage dealt will put her in a bad spot, for sure. Yeah, I should have cleared off this little pocket ages ago. Absolute ages ago. Yeah, final transmutation gets a decent amount of damage, nothing too crazy. I do wish I had more magic, actually. But I think we've definitely overstayed our welcome at this point. And I should think about just disengaging and getting to safety. In the meantime, we will get our archers over here. And just get a clean disengage. I'll have more final transmutations in the future. We just want to pick off these units one at a time. There you go. So I should be able to clear this actually quite quickly. There's really not a lot here. And with so many archers, it's going to be quite painful. Ooh, big charge, man. Big charge. Very nice. All right. And those zombies are effectively dead. So all I got to do is walk the boys onto the point and we're good. But yeah. Overall, the grind was actually not too bad though. Like my guys were getting in some pretty good deeps. I do quite enjoy that. I might be able to get some free picks here too on like horrors and such. And we did get them to use a bunch of zombie summons. So that's going to cost a lot of winds of magic. It's not entirely pleasant. I don't need Plague of Rust on these guys. We got the Dragon Princes on them. They do have fire damage. So they are very good at that. Alright, and with capture point number 1 secured now, it should be okay. If I can kill these horrors. I'm not entirely sure yet if that is entirely doable. Is he really going to land on her? On my lord? Okay, yeah, that would be crazy if he did. Whoop. I'm going to try and kill off these crypt horrors. It's super important that you kill them early before they make use of their regeneration. Otherwise, you will definitely be regretting how much healing that they can actually manage to get. I will be killing his lord soon. At the point where you really don't want to lose your lord because you can't exactly resummon them or anything. It would just simply take too long for that. And okay, we're gonna see some Vargeist. Vargeist in general, not a big deal. Although Vargeist with this much infantry support, a little bit more of a problem. We'll definitely have to be wary. I will have another final transmutation soon though, that's good. And I should be able to kill this corpse cart. The clock's ticking. Now, do I want Oceanids? No, right? We actually, for once, we've been able to spend our magic. Was that a Winds of Death? I think I accidentally dodged most of it, thankfully. But kind of terrifying. Okay, and now we're going to go for that Lord Snipe. So here's the play. Single out units and get them killed. Nice and simple like. Whoop. We do have another dog summon, but he charged the wrong unit. And then I should be able to charge the Crypt Horrors like so. Alright. Yeah, and then the dragon princes will just play keep away. It's gonna be a little sketchy. We do get the dog kill though. Okay, dragon princes make it out too. Very nice. Okay, as long as I can clear this little pocket, we're fine. I actually have a lot of time here too, so there is absolutely no rush. And I'm noticing many of these units are starting to get overextended. Plus, the Lord loss penalty is going to cause many of his units to crumble. So I'm pretty sure we can clear this up. Yeah, the cav charges are going to be absolutely devastating. If he resummons his Lord, he's not going to have a lot of anything really on the battlefield. He's already summoned a ton of flyers, which are, yeah, just not enjoying their time at all here. So here's the play. You clear off the flyers, then you play Gavrus the Stearnsman, and then you just shoot them up into oblivion. The question is, though, when is that Lord coming back? How long has my opponent been saving up? We will have to wait and see. Stearnsmen are really pushing forwards here. He might even push too far off the point, and mayhaps I can resecure it, or even the back point, which would be, I think, the best case scenario. And you know what? Since he is playing a rather slow faction, back point is fairly open. I think we can do that. Ooh, Stearnsmen are getting put into a really bad position too, and he just summoned Crypt Horrors. So you know what that means? We are about to kill box our opponent. Or, no. That's what I'm doing with the Stearnsmen. The Crypt Horrors means there's no Lord coming back, which is very important for us. And you can see archers with the Plague of Rust doing really well. We turned High Elves into an armor-piercing faction, guys. This is the weakest Stearnsman you've ever seen in your entire life. They'll go with the Tithe, very nice. And then we just go here. Yeah, honestly, vampire counts, they feel pretty squishy, right? They feel pretty squish-tastic, I don't know. Gets the Crypt Horror summon over here. They have 30 armor. I can make my Cav do true damage to them, though. You know he will not be liking that. Are these guys really not able to get line of sight because I have my one hero there? That's the worst line of sight I've ever seen in my entire life. Creative Assembly, why? Regardless, I will still be able to get the point. For some reason, though, we managed to lose Plague of Rust because apparently range units don't know how to shoot, but it's okay. We're gonna kill off these horrors. They'll be a very nice pick. And then if I keep summoning in cavalry, we'll be able to kill off the rest. Let's go ahead and kill that. Did I give it like an accidental move command? Benefit of the doubt. Maybe there was a move command. Maybe? Please tell me range units are getting more updates. We'll see. That's another 1,000 gold pick though. Oof, and the shatter. Oh, that's brutal. All right, very nice. Yeah, you can see the vampire counts. Even the ultra tanky vampire counts against just the constant pummeling of cavalry. They can't do it. Apparently. Well, game's technically not over just yet. Gotta be a little careful about that part. But yeah, let's get our archers in. We're just gonna hold this here point. Where's my caster? She's over here. Yeah, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to debuff that Graveguard Halberd and get them dealt with. Now, unfortunately, she miscast, so she is going to take a little bit of damage from that. Woo! Yeah, lots of archer damage, though. Is he going to be able to secure this point? Maybe not, actually. Like I said, cavalry have a lot of capture weight. Yeah, caster unfortunately died, but I'll be okay. Yeah, cavalry have pretty decent cap weight. He's gonna need to bring in a little bit more here if he wants to take it anytime soon. I have to be real careful though, right? Because these Crypt Horrors are not really dying at the pace that I wanted them to. We did manage to kill the Graveguard at least, and I can start picking apart this side. I'm imagining my opponent will be able to get this point eventually. Yeah, I'm imagining they're going to be able to take this point eventually, so I'm just gearing up for my full army swing over to this location when I inevitably have to take this one. Alternatively, my cavalry just have, you know, 45 melee defense, so they literally can't hit my cavalry. I guess alternatively, my cavalry can just be absolute chads. Yeah, I guess that also works. Are you kidding me? Do they actually not take any hits from zombies? They've taken no damage. What's a Crypt Horror melee attack? They actually have pretty decent melee attack. Dude, that's hilarious though. They can't hit them. The 2 elite staunch line of horses, apparently. Well, that's hilarious. It's over. Yeah, the game's over. I'm gonna steal the middle point, and he can't get there in time because he has no killing power. Absurd. Actually absurd. This is the best cavalry in the entire game. Now, this game was much closer than it needed to be because obviously you should not be cav maxing vampire counts. But if I can cav max vampire counts, it means we can cav max basically anyone, right? I think that's a very good sign for this build. This might actually be insane. What? All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's another win in the books for us. Very nice. GG's a turn. Kind of stressful. I didn't play it perfectly, but yeah, Elven Horse is a bit different. Wow. Oh my gosh, disgusting. All right, we're up against Marinos. Okay. Never heard of them before. Yo, we're up. How did I match into them? Also, did my game crash? Dang, they have 2 wins with Lizardmen. Who is this? Random up-and-coming player, maybe? Terrifying. 2,200. Final Transmutation's good. So I learned that I don't really need the Mist Mage if I'm going to cast Final Transmutation. That's definitely worth it. My micro is so insane. Dude, that's how I felt about Falcon back in the day. The true OG. You were terrifying. For me nowadays, honestly, I've been playing Warhammer for like half a decade. Just 5 years straight of competitive Warhammer. If you think about it, imagine, if you've ever worked at the job for 5 years, you get super efficient at what you do. And still, I feel like I have a ways to go. Huh, apparently, he could not join my lobby. I will join theirs. Funnily enough, though, my chariot micro is still garbage. I suck at chariots. We can talk about the cav all you want. But man, there's still a ways to go. This game has too many quirks. But also, I just have an aversion to learning how to micro chariots. My goodness. They're so... every time I use them, they just die. Unless it's Grom the Paunch. Only exception. But yeah, Falcon was a monster. And during the Warhammer 2 era, too. Insane. Elf horses have 11 horsepower. Because elven horses... Holy pun. Dang. Oh, man, dude. Yo, the crazy thing, though, is technically High Elves could have always run this build. But I guess no one really used it because nobody goes Cav Max. At least very few people will go Cav Max. So... I guess no one's just... Okay, no, actually, no, I am wrong about that. I was inspired by this build because someone sent me a build that was apparently able to beat Norska, which was just the High Elf Cav Max. So we did just kind of copy that, but it was a recent thing. I don't think people were Cav Maxing in general before. Life Mage to restore martial prowess. Most of the time, I think I would just rather de-summon the cavalry and bring them back in. Do you see a faction countering my build? So, honestly, Cav Maxing in general is a pretty good strat for tournaments. You get a lot of mobility. It's really good at exploiting misplays from your opponent. And basically what I'm saying is, I want the game to be about micro. I don't want to walk into a situation where my build screws me over. So technically it's going to be slightly less effective. Technically it's going... I'm waiting for my opponent to set up the lobby, by the way. But yeah, technically it will be less effective versus many builds. but it puts the onus on me. Like, I think you get less RNG when you cav max, assuming you can actually micro the cav. But in theory, even halberd spam doesn't do so well against it because I have the archers. So let's actually load it up again. Yeah, so we have this lady, Plague of Rust, Final Transmutation, Searing Doom. So I think the build benefits dramatically from having a couple archers in reserve in case they just hyperbox it. You still have Plague of Rust, which combos super well with archers. I think having Illyrian Reaver archers is great. They can support these guys like crazy. But yeah, the crazy high statted cavalry with Plague of Rust is really nice. Let's see here. So I'm getting enough magic. I could technically get a little bit more though, actually, if I take another Book of Hoeth or Arcane Conduit. Does anyone know which one is better? They cost the same. Book of Hoeth has 33% of the... No, it has like a quarter uptime. 160 quartered. So that's 40% recharge. This is also 40%. Bro, that's basically the same. But you can use this at the beginning. Right? So I think Book of Hoeth is technically better if you cast it off cooldown immediately. It does have a slightly longer duration. It's really hard to figure out exactly which one is better. But I think just because this is right away and you can get your Final Transmutation immediately, I think that's slightly preferred. Do I want Golden Hound to Glittering Robe or Lead? No, that's all useless. So that will leave me how much money I can swap out? 100 left over. Okay. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Yo, I almost want to... Wait. Metal shifting increases base weapon damage. It increases all damage by 12%. It only lasts 12 seconds though, so probably not worth. But I guess it's better than chevroning. Weird. Okay, I'm going to restart. I think that little bit of lag at the end of the last game might have screwed things over, so we're going to do that. How to deal with slows and nets? Just have more cav. Sorry, I read that a little late, but literally, if you are struggling... Oh yeah, yo, my game is super borked. Force close it. Don't make me whip out Task Manager. But yeah, you know, if your cavalry gets netted, you just bring in another unit of cavalry to support them. It's fine. Okay, restarting. Cav max vampire counts. Weirdly enough, that runs into the same issue that High Elves do. They run out of good armor piercing options. They're also hella slow, which is why most cav maxes are kind of rough too. Hex rates are cool. A lot of people swore off hex rates, but then they're kind of making a resurgence. So now I don't actually know how I feel about them. Dude, what's up with my game? Is it like hella borked? Come on, boot. Boot, I say. Ooh, yes, you do get the Strigoi. So vampire counts would have better SCs. Maybe you over a micro, but you still love them. I think hex rates have... I think they're a high potential unit. Okay, yeah, dude, my game is like really not cooperating right now. I think I'm going to restart Steam, maybe? I'm going to exit out of Steam. And then we're going to reboot Steam, and then I'm going to boot up the game. I've been having a few PC issues recently. Unless Steam is down, it's not even logging me in. Is anyone else getting issues? Alright, Steam is back. Please send replay. I will also need to admin a sec. Alrighty. Let's go over here. We'll reboot the game and then we're good. You also disconnected? Was it just like a mass Steam outage? Did Steam just explode? Steam is acting up? Oh boy. At Goblins. Seems like Steam is acting up. Let's give it a sec. Yeah, because Warhammer Total War, it relies on Steam to work properly. So if Steam servers are down, Warhammer servers are down. I think it's I think it should be getting better now though. Apparently there's a game where there's a crash. Let's see here. They want me to admin the game, but they did not send a replay. Alright, there we go, there it is. Okay, so we're just gonna have to do some quick adminning and then we can dive right on in to our match. But yeah, I have to figure it out. Okay, nice. They both sent the replay. Alright, booting up the game. We might just call it a draw if it's close. Admin without the replay. Yeah, I was sent a screenshot. That will never do. Because it will always be biased. Unfortunately. Also, JR, thank you so much for the time sub. Much appreciated. Just a little frazzled right now. This is my first stream in like a week. Because so much stuff to deal with. And the tournament tomorrow, the grand finals. Yo, I really want to try whipping out this high elf build. Because a lot of people just might not be ready for it. Maybe it sucks though, I don't know. Definitely in a best of 5 I could run it, but let's take a look. So, screenshot is over here. This game goes to 8 minutes and 20 seconds, so we'll just let it run. And take a look-see. So, yeah, we got some Chaos Dwarves, you know, they're grinding, a little bit of cycle charging from the Centaurs. Nothing too crazy. We got a little bit of Cathay charge, alright, look at that. Ungor's getting beat up. So far, you know, it's all fairly even. Damage tracker is more reliable when it comes to melee fights too. Beastmen did get a pretty sick play over here. Very nice. And then, look at that, Ungor flank. Unfortunately, they're just gonna rout, yeah. Hey, there's the Cascading Fire Cloak again. Very fun. Did not actually save the Hobgoblins, but you'll love to see it. And overall, this is very even, right? Like, there's nothing really crazy going on here. Tickets are very even. Value trading's very even. Both sides have a lot of units. There's nothing too absurd, right? Double Minotaurs bullying the Iron Demon. You have, what was that? A Praeton? A Praeton? Alright, never mind. Beastmen lost. Absolute garbage unit hasn't been summoned onto the battlefield. It's 1,750 gold. It's not very good at capturing either. Obviously, I'm memeing a bit. Oh, okay, and it ended there. Honestly, yeah, it's undecided. Like, you could say one side has a slight advantage, but yeah. You guys can decide. It'll be a replay if you guys agree to draw. That's fine too. Alright, so we'll let them know. Steam made everyone's games crash. Alright. Yeah, there's, you know, this is a minor tournament. We like to just keep things going. Since, you know, it's not like a super hardcore turn event or anything. Okay, on my way. So we're just going to go for the quick adminning option. Even though technically you could say one side is more ahead or the other, but like that game was obviously not decided. All right. And there we go. You may have decided to buy the Tomb Kings DLC and the Norska DLC. Ooh, was there a sale? Was there a sale? Because I will say DLC sales are pretty hype indeed. Maybe I do just get the metal shifting on my Lord. It's 11% more damage, or on my caster. It's 12% more damage. If I'm Plague of Rusting a single entity, like Zhao, that might do a bit more damage. It's not actually super worth, but I don't want to keep my opponent waiting. Think it's still going? Hell yeah. Alright, here we go. And we're loading in. +3 weapon strength. Let's see, if you think about it as just +3 weapon strength, it also gets modified by the charge bonus too. Important to note. It's just the time it lasts is so short. 13 seconds? Dude, 13 seconds is nothing. Very good luck, have fun. I'd have to be like really spamming spells to keep it going, right? Like spam Plague of Rust and then Searing Doom 12 seconds after. I'm sure, you know, on the charge though it can help, but then again it's mostly impact damage from the charge bonus. Weapon strength doesn't matter that much when it comes to Cav. Dragon Princes only have 20 armor and some leadership over Silver Helms. They have let's see here. Dragon Princes have, come on. Oh my gosh, it is not cooperating at all today. 34, 32, 36, 32. They have Martial Mastery, which is 6 more melee attack. And they also have some physical resist on top of slightly better stats across the board. Finally, I can check it. Yeah, they have overall better stats. It's nothing too crazy though. Like Dragon Princes are not super popular for a reason. But the physical resist is nice. Now I'm going to see double Ancient Salamander. This is going to be a quick game. If my opponent is not careful, he will absolutely get massacred. I should also, by the way, think about maybe some Lore of Shadows shenanigans. In cases where I don't think I need a lot of armor piercing, Shadows will give all my cavalry a speed buff for 25 seconds. That definitely can be used to my advantage. Loving the Silver Helms. They actually feel really nice. The maneuverability is through the roof on these guys. And I'm ready to Plague of Rust his spear guys, his spear riders. I think if we can kill them, we're set. This is where we make the big play though. So as you can see, my opponent disrespecting the Silver Helms. We shall not have that. So we're just going to, yeah, plow on in over here. I don't need to charge that. Oh, the skirmishers too. Jeez, okay. So they were braced for that. I am charging uphill too, which is slightly disadvantaged. But as long as I can squeeze some of these guys in, I think we're still good. Burning head should not be a big deal here. And whoa, big dino has just dropped. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. How do I deal with that? How do I deal with that? I guess just play keep away. Honestly, these skinks are holding up much better than I thought they would. Rear charge will definitely help though. Gonna need a backup from that banishment. Honestly, not the best situation. I'm kind of botching it. Now, the charge goes okay for me here. And I should be able to get at least a couple routes. But unfortunately, the slows are really massacring me right now. I'm not appreciating that in the slightest. Now I should be able to route off at least a couple of these red cresteds. That's good. And the goal is to just ignore the Carnosaur and kill everything else. That's basically it. I do have a lot of cav here. I have a sick final transmutation in the pocket. That's gonna kill off that lord over there. There we go. And then I think if I kill off the lord, we're good. Did he? Okay, no, he didn't final transmute me. I final transmuted him. Very nice. So let's get that debuff. And the goal is just get that lord killed. I really just want him dead. Because the skinks, they're weird. They tend to be fairly good in terms of leadership. But they start falling apart as soon as you have like a little bit extra. That's kind of where I rank skinks on the leadership front. It's very much so just that tiny little bit extra that keeps them in there. But if I can kill off the lord, we're set. Dragon princes have fire resist too, so these salamanders can't kill him. You can see the cav really cooking up that lord. Now I can't finish the job just yet, but I think we managed to actually turn a pretty bad situation into an okay one. Mostly because my opponent obviously had too much ranged. That's gonna set him back pretty hard. But yeah, this feels not too bad. You know, lord is going to be getting charged here. Ripperdactyls have 45 armor. Not a problem. Not a problem in the slightest, actually. Let's get that plague of rust on their faces, and that should just melt them. Be very surprised if the Ripperdactyls could survive that. Because, yeah, 15 armor versus this? Impossible. Dang, look at that. They actually held up longer than I thought they would. Probably because most of my cavalry are tired from all the cycle charging. But very nice. Very nice. I honestly thought we were dead. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were pretty boned. But apparently not. Apparently, just the Cav Max. Just the Cav Max will hard carry. And even this Carnosaur, I think we're about to kill him. With a big old plague of rust. I just need to time the murdering with the lord dying. So he's about to die now. So if I cast plague of rust on him now, that should actually finish the job. I just need a little bit more cycle charge in here. Very nice. 3 weapon strength is the difference between silver helms and reavers. Interesting. Well, no. The difference is a charge bonus, man. Charge bonus is way more impactful than the weapon strength. You're missing like 30 charge bonus, maybe 40 even. I'm not entirely sure, or maybe just 20. GG. Made my opponent wait a long time, but at least we made sure the game was fast. Overall, not too bad. I think, yeah, they just had a few too many range, and barely being able to break the skinks was what did it for me. Yo, we're up against Chosen next. Hell yeah. Alright, here we go. It is time. It's Chosen. What are they playing today? And what map are we on? Road to Talipheim, okay. Very nice. Big old flat map. Love to see it. I'm High Elves. So they actually are going to get to counterpick me. Very fun. Now, Chosen is a very strong player. Generally speaking, they like to play melee factions. So this will actually be the best test yet of the build. Of whether or not it truly cooks or not. I feel like I have enough cavalry. That's a good sign. Having these dragon princes does a lot. So I'll probably just stick with this, right? Just get the archers in. then we're fine. I'm also really surprised in that Lizardman game that my opponent didn't summon in the Cold Wind Spear Riders. Helm max. Yeah. But we'll see. What are they gonna do? I would love to play versus Batonia and try to beat their cavalry. Beat them at their own game. Crazy how it went from looking doomed to wiping him. The big swing play was barely routing off those skinks. If the skinks held, I would have been dead. Cavalry don't really like the grind. Even my supremely powerful cavalry, they still don't like the grind. Although, honestly, wait, Silver Helms have 44 melee defense? You know who has 44 melee defense base? Let me see. Who has 44 base melee defense? These guys are a little too high. Let's see here. I think Warriors of Chaos? Yeah. They're Chaos Warriors. There you go. I knew I could find it. Wait, Silver Helms are actually just Chaos Warriors on horses. They got the armor. They got the damage spread. Yeah, they're just Chaos Warriors. Holy crap. No wonder they held versus zombies. Jeez Louise. Ooh, I could play versus Slanesh. That's pretty fun. Ooh, I wonder how this pans out. I do have Final Transportation, so it's probably fine. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. It's a little sad that this was my only stream during the weekdays, but I will be streaming the Grand Finals tomorrow. If you want to try Cav versus Cav, hit me up. Oh boy, I'm so tempted, but I sadly do have some things to get to later. All right. Alright, there you go. Just dealing with some messages, but yeah. Slanesh. Yo, dude, I really wonder how this works out. In theory, my Silver Helms annihilate Seekers. So that should be pretty good. Pleasure Seekers, I can just surround and bully. If he brings that Unbreakable Slanesh monstrous unit, I can just armor debuff him. So, I think we're fine. Hellstriders get dumpstered by Silver Helms, I know that. And if he brings Chaos Knights, he's super dead. Not to mention, he doesn't have a lot of halberd play, right? You wonder how they do versus Fiends? Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. It's kind of weird. Slanesh doesn't have a lot of armor. The Plague of Rust is literally just there for their... if they spam like Chaos Warriors or Chosen. But otherwise, it's most likely just going to be a Cav fight. Now, I will have Reavers. So, in a full Cav on Cav, I'm skirmishing them to death. Slanesh Horsemen are only okay. Nothing too crazy. So, my gut tells me we win this. But that's what it always says. Does negative armor amplify damage? Sadly, no. Though that would be hilarious. -1. You can actually get Plague of Rust really low. Or you can get armor really low with Plague of Rust. Because you combo it with a non-overcast version for -90. And then you can damage, spell amplify it by 60%. So you're looking at like -150 armor. If it could go negative, you would be doing like 3x more damage than usual. With nothing blocking the damage. My Silver Helms will be hitting for 100 damage without charge bonus. Use case for Withering and Shadow passive. You, my good sir, are brilliant. Withering and Shadow passive? That's hilarious. That's actually some insane potential. It is really nice having the 2 casts of debuffs. But Smoke and Mirrors? I can speed Demon Slanesh. What are they gonna do? Unfortunately, Withering costs 50 gold more though, so it's not as good. And then I'd have to take Smoke and Mirrors, which also cost me a bit of money. Oh wait, no. Ooh, okay. I kind of like where this is going. Yeah, so I can take Withering. Just 5 Winds of Magic. And now I have Smoke and Mirrors. And I can combine that with Plague of Rust if I felt insane. Sick. This'll, yeah, I don't know how this actually works, but it could be insane. Now, if they go full armor on me, I'm gonna wish I had Plague of Rust. But I don't know, maybe it works. I like the speed bonus. Apparently the draw function on the bot isn't working. Dude, this bot. This bot, so many bugs, I swear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on this bot more. At some point. But alright, here we go. So we got our ROR Reaver Cav. So these guys are hype because they have way more charge bonus and stats over the other dudes. So they can still act as melee cav. They're very nice. They also have 105 speed, which is kind of absurd. They are actually faster than Slaneshi cav. Can you believe it? Then we have the lore passive. Smoke and Mirrors. 10% more speed army wide. So I can get my guys over 115 speed. Ready? Good luck, have fun. Over 115 speed on these guys. For these ones, they'll be closer to, yeah, like 95 speed. Which is still quite good. Nothing too crazy, though. Oh, is he really Marauder maxing me? Oh, it's over. It's over, man. Oh, oh, there's no armor. There's no armor to speak of. That's a bad sign. Now, it's obviously not fully over yet, right? I'm sure my opponent has some plays they can make. But, yeah, if I just face charge these Marauders, they're going to take so much damage. What we got here? Some Hellstriders? Bro. This is the worst thing they possibly could have taken versus me. Oh, jeez. Alright, here we go. And we're gonna speed amp ourselves. So there you go. 92 speed. Straight into a bunch of Marauders. And then he comes out of the woods and bullies me. Now, thankfully I am still speed amped. Let's see how we do versus the Fiends, though. I can make use of the speed amp for a while. I guess they were braced, though. Eh. It did not go nearly as well as I thought it would. Oh, crap. My caster. Dude, she's expensive. Don't let them die. Alright, so overall, that ended up just being a couple trades. Nothing too insane, I'd say. I should be able to escape from this at least. Alright. And what we're going to do is spam more cav. Overall, slight misplay from me, though. I should have expected the forest camp. Should have seen it coming. I was too excited about the Marauders. Such is life, though. These guys will be able to make it out alive, at least. Let's, yeah, get a little bit of a Searing Doom action over there. That should hurt them pretty bad. We will be catching at least a couple of these guys. And that will increase my damage output, too. That part's quite important. I got Melkoths. Will live. And, okay, the Hellstriders are taking some good deeps. So, ain't the end of the world. I think that counter punch here brings me back into the game. At least a little bit. Is that a slicing shards? No. Pit of Shades. Crazy. Cast a Pit of Shades. Kind of wisps it, though. That's going to hurt my opponent quite a bit. We're going to, yeah, just debuff these guys. Those are just Hellstriders, so we're happy to just charge them. Okay. Gonna have to pull back a wee bit. And we're gonna have to stay away from the Forsaken. The Forsaken are the real issues here. I don't have a final transmutation either, which is a little unfortunate. There's the Melkoths too. Though I think we still are able to play keep away. And you gotta remember, this army is slower than me, so I can reposition a bit faster. That part helps us out. And it'll buy me time to final transmute this Lord over here. Super annoying Lord. He definitely needs a final transmutation to the face. Which is dropping right about now. That's going to redeem our position ever so slightly. But things are not perfect just yet. I did win the mobility fight. They did accidentally walk into a into their fiends for the final transmutation. So that's going to help us out. Okay. We're gonna get a pretty decent charge over here. Ooh. Gonna need some Dragon Princes. Okay, yeah, fiends are actually taking a lot of damage. That's good. That's very good. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, and then I can start capturing at this point. Overall, value trading is actually up in our favor now, thanks to that glorious, glorious charge. Not to be confused with glorious charge from the Kislevites. That's a Pit of Shades. Gotta run for our lives. Thankfully, we do mostly evac from that situation. Okay, and I should be able to kill off these Forsaken, no problem. And then now I think we get one Archer. Archer is kind of weird here, but he doesn't really have anything that can pressure the Archers. So they should actually be able to get a good amount of work done. A little bit of a Fury charge too. I can just bully him. And overall, not the end of the world. I think if I can re-secure a point and keep up trading for the next little bit, we'll be okay. Chosen is playing this really well though, especially after that initial misplay. I really put myself in a bad position. I could have taken my time. But it ain't the end of the world. You can see we still have some sick dodges over here. I will have a lot of magic at my disposal too. And the point is captured. Question now though is, what do we do about this? So we got some Slongors over here. Ah, so he's going to be playing for the point. Ooh, look at that Cav micro though. Chosen's playing this really well. As long as I keep the archers alive, though, I think we're okay. And there we go. That will be us securing the points. Remember, I do have some Dragon Princes here. They're very good. All right, and that's them bailing. All right, so basically, I could have been in a similar situation, but had a lot more time. Now we're kind of put under time pressure. I don't have enough magic to spam final transmutation either. But at the very least, we're seeing the trades working out decently. I forgot, Hell Scourges have charge defense versus large. I totally forgot about that bit. That's actually helping them out a lot here. Now, some of them are on the move now, so I can definitely clean them up. Whoop, back it up. Okay, yeah, I'm going to get a few cleanups here and there. All right, we're going to get our archers on these guys. The question is, like, I think I can keep up trading, but actually closing out the game is going to be a little bit more difficult. So we're just going to see if we can get a charge here, maybe a bit of a Searing Doom. If they don't notice that, that's great for me. Looks like I still get a partial hit. I'll take it. I'm kind of just waiting for that next final transmutation. You can see time is really ticking, though. They do overexpose their fiends, though. That's good. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take some free fiends. And if I can get a Lord Snipe, that would be perfect, actually. Yeah, Lord Snipe would be really good. In fact, I think I can just steal the point. Lord is going to be coming on in. I think one more Final Transmutation kills him though, right? At least it should get him low enough where he can't really participate. Dude, honestly, I just botched the early game though. Not my best work. So that Final Transmutation, it be coming. And it be coming soon. Should be able to get a charge on the Forsaken there. Alright, where's the play though? What are you doing? So there's a speed buff on those Hellstriders, kind of terrifying. I will be able to secure the point though. And I will be able to get some Fireborn in here. Fireborn will definitely be really good. I expect them to cook very hard. And second point will be acquired soon. Value trading is actually not bad, right? And I think we just got ourselves some Forsaken too. Because this is obviously a very infantry-based play style. Should be able to clean up shop over there. Very nice. Okay, and then with the help of the Fireborn, now we'll be set. And if I can get him to blob up and cast an overcast Final Transmutation, I think that might win it. Unfortunately for me though, my caster is slightly out of position. They get a pit of shades on my face. Dude, the out of position caster might actually end me here. We'll see though, we'll see. I think if I can just drop it like it's hot on this Lord, mayhaps we can get a victory. Fireborn are still alive too, they're doing great. They'll be able to charge in. Is it enough though? Is it enough? Or did my early misplays put me in a bad position? Bad enough position where we're not gonna win it? Final Transmutation's cooking them. Like that much is for sure. Oh man, I wish I just had a bit more time. Oh, and it doesn't kill the Lord. Ah, that's GG. Yeah, I just didn't play this one super cleanly. GG, well played. Yeah, fine by me though. I kind of just got way over eager against the Hell Scourges. They have anti-large. That's just a misplay. That's just a misplay. Let's take a look. Very good cavalry micro, didn't overextend. I should have just gone for the easy pickings. The Forsaken, I could have just waited a bit. Also, I did not like the Withering. Withering felt subpar, so we'll probably sub that out. I think that's totally winnable though, like 10 times over. I just need to save up for more Final Transmutations on the Lord. And then I totally think we can get him. Definitely though, yeah, let's swap all this out again. Maybe I do just take Arcane Conduit because it's easier to micro. And then otherwise keep everything the same. But yeah, Withering didn't rout off the Forsaken. That's the problem, man. It didn't rout him off. Oops. There we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and save that. But yeah, if I was kind of making it close after a horrendous start, I think we can totally get him. Buna caster in reserve. There was nothing to Buna that game. It was all Hellstriders. I did really like the archers though. So technically, if I had more time, I could have just summoned the archers and have them control space because it forces my opponent to attack into me instead of playing keep away near their Forsaken. And that's where the victory comes from. Plus, I can also do more Reaver, voice crack, Reaver Archer micro. That part's always pretty good. Lots of opportunities. Some Oceanids. Oceanids are not bad. They got that chaff clear. They just feel a little slow. Like, I feel like I'd rather have the Silver Helm. We'll see, though. We'll see. I think it just comes down to a micro issue. What should you bring as Slanesh against Silver Helms? Apparently that. Though the Forsaken were good. It was the Forest. Keeping them in the Forest and in reserves. That got me. But I have my next opponent. Yo! We got the Lizardman player again. I will still be making it to semis today, which is fun. And then from there, we can we can lock in. I think we can totally beat their Slaanesh. Wait, what's the map? What's the map? Altar of the Champion. Okay. This is good. A little bit more terrain. We can stress test the build. So far, Double Plague of Rust is for sure the way to go. This is the caster that we're spamming the abilities on. I got my Arcane Conduit for less micro. And I will have more magic this time too. Because the last time when I went for the Withering, I didn't have my Book of Hoeth. Actually, you know what? I still like the Book of Hoeth. I like it too much. Yeah, because if I just got the Final Transmutation slightly sooner, it would have been better. It's true. Slaanesh with the Temptations. Lore accurate Slaanesh playstyle. Wildcard Swordmaster's pick. It does not do anything for the build, sadly. Because the build is really good at relocating. Like maybe, like, you know, I could see it in reserves at best. But usually when you want to relocate really quickly, a unit of infantry slows down your whole army to infantry speed. And that kind of puts you in a weird position. With archers, it's different because the archers can control so much space. But yeah. Yeah, mass is the counter to Cav. That's why the Forsaken are good. The Hell Scourges are good if they're bracing. Because they got that anti-large charge defense, which doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know why whips. Are you whipping the horses so that they charge you less? I don't know. Maybe. The War Kitties. Ooh, as part of the Cav Max. They're actually not that great, though. Like, they're good because they have armor piercing, but they lose out on stats so much. And since I already have Double Plague of Rust, we might as well stick with this, right? Chariots? Oh, maybe Chariots. If only my Chariot micro was better. Yeah, I know. Slaanesh with the baits. I can't believe him. It's okay. Vengeance, though. Vengeance. I think I would love to rematch against Chosen. Same build. Because if I can beat Chosen with this, the build is actually tournament ready. Because very likely I'm not going to be facing Slaanesh. It's probably going to be a lesser faction. And then we just win, right? ROR lines with the war for the morale damage. Weirdly enough, I find that I don't need leadership bombs that much here. I just kind of need to position my Cav and just kill him. Get the Chariot practice in finals for tomorrow. Just back-to-back streams where I just spam Chariots. Like pump wagons, some high elf Chariots and the like. Honestly, it'd be good for me. Especially if we get a Chariot meta. I've been blessed with the Cav meta. The Fiends. So in that game, the Fiends held up pretty well, right? They are a little more expensive. So I did find that I had more cavalry than my opponent. But Fiends supported by Forsaken is definitely one of the tougher things to manage. When are you Lion unit maxing? Well, let's take a look. Oh wait, no. I'm trying to figure out. I've tried the High Elf Lions before for AP. But they just don't cook on their own, do they? Good luck. Have fun. Yeah, they're on the cusp. They're very much an on the cusp unit. Even against armor, they kind of just trade even. They don't really give that sweet up trading potential that I'm looking for. I will say, though, I am very tempted indeed. Alright, here we go. Ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're relocking in. I gotta remember, too, that when we're playing against these top tier players, I really can't let up at all. I can't get comfortable like I do with a lot of other players. Otherwise, they will just squeeze out victories. We use our game against Chosen to humble us. That's my power up, though. Nothing makes you play better than losing. That's why you get those white lions of Trace. And the lion Jared get all lion. Full AP. I think they all actually trade about even. Except for the chariots. The chariot lions are actually really hype. Alright, I'm ready though. Has my opponent adapted their build? The answer is yes. They've taken Mazdamundi, who probably has a net. They have an ancient Stegodon, Engine of the Gods. If I surround that with cavalry, I can kill it though. With the double Plague of Rust. So one is... Oh crap, my magic. One overcast, one not overcast. Gonna see a... Okay. Big old bombardment skink. Coming in from the heavens. Very interesting. Okay. So we have a fun build. We have a fun build from my opponent. They've adapted slightly to the Cav Max style. I need to be a little wary about just taking the fight. You know, raw. If I just dive in right now, this is much stronger than last time. 3-3. We see all the units. There's no stealth skinks this time either. Oh, wait. Is he dead? Oh, he runs away. Very smart. He has a net, though, so I gotta be a little careful. Now, what will my opponent do when I decide not to attack him, though? Then what? Then what will you do? It's gonna be a little sketchier, isn't it? Now, I could Final Transmutation Mazdamundi, but he does have a bubble. I think I kind of want to wait for that bubble to go away. I'm gonna try killing the Stegodon. So that's minus 90 armor. So he might not expect it to actually do this much damage, right? You can see the Reavers are actually... Yeah, he pops the heal. He's like, huh, that thing's kind of damaged. Drops the bubble. Okay. That's good. And then as soon as the bubble wears off, then maybe we can bully Mazdamundi with a sick little Final Transmutation. How much... Yeah, I still have 18 seconds of it, too. Very nice. So we're just going to get a little bit of a surround here. Then we're going to charge Mazdamundi. And then we're going to see if we can get him. Unfortunately, I did let some of my units get caught. A little late on the retreat there because I was focusing on this. That's a laser beam. Jace, good thing I did not get netted there. Alright, so we're just going to back it up. Drops a comet like it's hot. Oh, geez. Lots of deeps for my dear old opponent. But Mazdamundi's injured and he doesn't have a... he doesn't have a 6 spell, so... He doesn't have anything to save himself. Is that another comet? How much magic does this guy have? I think he might have just mag dumped his magic. I'm also microing a lot here, so I'm not paying attention to my summons very much. Get good damage on Mazdamundi at least, though. Overall, I'd say we did okay out of 10. This, though, should be interesting. So this is a Plague of Rust. This is what we were. This is what we're testing, right? Do my silver helms absolutely crump with the Plague of Rust? The answer is very likely yes. The crumpening is holy. What is the stats on these guys? Yeah, way lower than my silver helms. Way lower. Oh my goodness. All right, well, good to know. The Plague of Rust is good. These guys are too slow to run away from Dragon Princes too. Dragon Princes are fast. Absolute menace, those guys are. And that puts us in a fairly good position. We just killed like 2,000 gold worth of Lizardmen cavalry. And I can start saving up for my next Final Transmutation. Let's position over here. Get another pot shot at the Mazdamundi. Oh my goodness, those poor guys. Yeah, that worked out really well. Are we going to see a Mazdamundi dodge? No dodge. And we're also going to get a free charge on these skinks over here. Very nice. What is that? The Carnosaur again. I'm very surprised to see it. The Carnosaur is technically, you know, technically it can get a little bit of work done on my Cav. It is anti-large, right? But SEs here are not exactly perfectly tuned for that. I also have another Final Transmutation or double Plague of Rust combo. I'll have to decide which one I prefer here. And we'll definitely want another pot shot on Mazda. There's a bit more magic for me. I think this is definitely a situation where we get in the archers too. Yeah, and then can we go for the kill? Mazdamundi's too expensive to resummon. He did just use the bubble. So maybe we can get him here. He's healing. Oh boy, I don't know if I can get the final transmutation on his face. I would love to, but I don't think it's coming. Honestly, I probably should have summoned the archers immediately. So instead, what we're gonna do is the smarter play and just use Plague of Rust to kill these guys. He does pull away the Carnosaur, so slight misplay on my end, but we catch it regardless. If it dies here, that's devastating for my opponent. This thing is ludicrously expensive. You do not want to be losing it for nothing. And if he misplays, potentially he brings in the Ancient Stegodon here. And then, yeah. And then Final Transmutation just cooks both of them. No, he's pulling it back. All right. I think we're still good, though. The archers are now in play. I have another Plague of Rust if I really want to ruin the man's day. Archers are online and operational. Alright, what are you doing, though? He's grouping up Mazda Mundi. I'm just going to drop it. I know he has the bubble off cooldown right now. At least he very likely does. But it's just so much damage with so many single entities nearby. It would be absurd not to make the play. What is that laser doing? Right on the Dragon Princess. I think it does fire damage, though. Oh, they got netted. Okay, it's fine. Dragon Princes are good. Plague of Rust, honestly, nothing too crazy. I think this build lives or dies on Plague of Rust more than Final Transmutation. So I'm just going to do that instead. How much armor do these guys have? 6? Alright. I think if I just cast this on them now, they're gonna die well before those 40 seconds wear off. There we go. Fireborn will mulch them. Okay. And then Ripperdactyls, I think we can just face charge them. Overall, not bad. I think he's on his way to being army wiped. Did I play this game perfectly? I think I definitely should get used to summoning the archers more often. There you go. There's the cap point, though. Yeah, these guys are getting beat up real hard. How much magic do I have? Still 19. Yeah, I think he's just getting army wiped now. Definitely a hard build to pilot, though. You're managing a lot of cooldowns. You're managing a lot of cavalry, which is why we don't see the summons early on. Honestly, if I just spam the archer summons, I think that already puts us in an amazing position. Because they can just start waddling their way up and getting in there. But as soon as we kind of hit that tipping point where there's just not a lot of units left to defend the flanks, then, yeah, we're kind of just set. Look at that. Ripperdactyls are gone. And the victory is ours. So semifinals will be next. Very exciting. Let's just kill Mazda Mundi. Do I? He did just drop the bubble. I could double Plague of Rust this Stegodon again. Oh crap, my archers. Yeah, I can just kill Mazda Mundi like so. And then save, yeah, my magic for some of this. Searing Doom, the other armor-piercing spell. Very nice. Unfortunately for my opponent, they couldn't dodge it. And yeah, who needs Final Transmutation? Let's just debuff the armor on this here Ancient Stegodon. Bring it down to glorious 30 armor because it's tired. And the match is ours. Not bad, not bad. Little tricksy. I do like how much magic I have. So spamming spells, I ran out of reserves at about the 8-minute mark. I would say that's generally a good pace. It means that I have enough magic. Oh yeah, it means I have enough magic to last a whole battle. Especially if I decide not to spend it frivolously. Solid. Alright. GG, well played. That's the win for us. And we can take a look at the top 4. So, Chosen made it to the #1 spot. They're finishing up a match right now. Driver is also pretty high up. And we got Ander. Very nice. And it looks like that's kind of who's competing for top 4 right now. Dang, this lady gets so much value off the final transmutations. She like always gets 3k. That's crazy. Or at least like, 2.5k. Fireborn did good against the big monsters. My backup armor piercing. The only innately AP cavalry. But yeah, I think the archers really seal the deal here. You play Conquest. Not much just because I don't have time. I want to dig into it. But yeah, it is. It is a bit much. Playing this, trying to edit videos, and all that. Yeah, Final Transmutation is really good for single entity damage. I feel like I don't really need the Searing Doom though, but there's honestly not that much I can swap out with this build. And having Searing Doom in the pocket is just nice. Just in case I get put in an awkward situation. But technically, if they're really good at dodging, it won't land. I do have to be a little careful about that. Yeah, spell batteries is catching on for high elves. It kind of showed up for vampire counts. But only a smidge. Like, spell batteries in general are less meta. You don't really see spell shenanigans in Grand Cathay. Not super hard spell shenanigans anyways. But with high elves, this item is insane. Starwood Staff is 0.4 times 24 because the 0th second counts as a tick. Times 3, that's 28.8 Winds of Magic extra. That's a whole free final transmutation. And then use the Books of Hoeth to actually acquire the magic. Won you many a match. Final Transmutation is definitely really good for exploiting misplays. But alright, so it looks like top 4. It's me, Michael Manoft, and Evergarden, or Chosen, is facing Andersholt. If Andersholt wins, they'll make it to top 4. So, that's the deciding game. Let me know when your match is done. Then top 4. Fun. Very fun. Also, we had lots of signups today. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 10. Like 27 signups. Wow. Add another battery. If I get another battery, you can get a lot more Winds of Magic. If you bring the Starwood Staff. The thing is, though, if you bring them with the Starwood Staff, let's say you get the cheapest battery possible. How much do they cost? How much am I willing to pay for one final transmutation extra at the very end of the game? Honestly, for 450, that's almost doable. But the problem is it is at the very, very end of the game when you're getting it. That is quite the investment. It's not bad, though. It is not bad. You don't have to take spells on them. You can go 600 with the Book of Hoeth to get the magic faster. I think if I had a spell that could... Well, I guess Final Transmutation is a spell where you're just trading. Like, I guess it's not bad. Just have them chilling. Waiting and ready. I would cut, what, like an archer for them? I think like 4 archers is enough. I could see it work. The thing is, I don't think I really need more magic. Like, this is, as usual, just a late game Final Transmutation. Games can end well before the 8-minute mark. Best damage spell in your game? Turning people into gold. Terrifying. They should add a mechanic in campaign where you get more money the more Final Transmutations you cast. I think it's not bad though. Like, this is definitely a good side grade. If I suspect the game will go long, like 10 minutes plus, this is super worth it. If I think it's going to go a bit shorter, I definitely would rather just have more archers. I could see myself cutting this Dragon Prince, though. They don't seem to do that much more compared to the Silver Helms. It's just kind of more cavalry. Yeah, it's just kind of more cavalry and kind of expensive at that, too. Honestly, having a late game cleanup crew is probably better. Most likely. Like, if... The thing is, the more you turn... The more you make this build better, the more it just becomes a normie build. With infantry. Get an eagle. That would be spicy. The late game no capture weight. But yeah, I think it just starts becoming kind of normal. Which I'm not particularly interested in. But having rangers to flood the field and capture points late game and clean up remaining chaff is very important. Alternatively, I take the White Lions for late game armor cleanup. They are much slower though. Or I take the Ships Company. Ships Company are interesting. I could take 3 Ships Company instead of the Rangers. As cleanup and capture weight, they do just fine, right? So I could have a few of them. And I would say this feels probably a bit better. We're obviously starting with all the cavalry, but I do quite enjoy my cav starts. Oh, and they're done. Nice. So, the top 4. Chosen, myself, Michael, and Manoft. Alright. Chosen versus Manoft. Chosen versus at Manoft. At Anticity versus at Michael. Alright. Left side is top bracket. And if we go over to the tournaments, the maps are Rapturous Expanse and Altar of the Champion again. Oh boy. Alright. Well, let's get our opponent. Yo, did not fight them in this tournament. We did not face them. So I'm interested to see what they decide to do. The faction they have selected is Vampire Counts. Oh boy. Am I really going to cav max the Vampire Counts again? Honestly, it was kind of fun last time. And we're on Expanse, Rapturous Expanse. Oh, I think we can pull it off. I might not even need to change the build. The great thing too is that this should be really good versus any shenanigans the Vampire Counts might go for. And if they go for a normal build, I just shoot them with archers, right? We saw how good Plague of Rust was versus Stearnsman. And Graveguard are super common here. Hey, what's up, Linus? Yeah, don't forget to summon the archers early. Like, the great thing about this build is it's doing well despite me not piloting it perfectly. I could actually see myself doing this. Still working out a decent amount. I kind of shifted my gym days to Stepmania days with dancing. It's actually been going pretty good. So, yeah. It's mostly just the cardio, right? But I still do squats. For anyone who wants to request that on Twitch, that is an option. You love the format. Thanks for organizing the tournament. Awesome, man. Happy to hear. The format is designed to get as many games in as short a time as possible. Hey, there it is. 10 squats. I just need to tune up the bot. Unfortunately, my bot needs a lot of work. Haven't done squats in like a week. But I think I should still be okay. We're just waiting for my opponent to finish up their army building. Yeah, I can't wait to face Slanesh again. I'm ready this time. Could you do a similar build with Dark Elves? The slower cav can put you in an awkward situation. You'd have to figure out what to do with your magic. I think you could, though. Like, Dark Elves have some pretty nasty magic and a lot of ways to increase. Okay, that's 10. Ooh, but yeah. I should start doing weighted squats. But yeah, it really depends on how they how they make use of that. Because the cavalry alone is probably worse. Thank you for the 5 months, by the way, Pope Patty. It's crazy, though. It's crazy that Silver Helms are actually Chaos Warriors on horses. Because the price difference is only a 33% increase. Technically, they lose their stats when they drop below 50% HP too, but it's pretty nice. Warpfire Warlock time. I wish they were better. Mini Doombolt got it got buffed, but it wasn't enough. Redeemed a stretch, thank you. Thank you for making sure I'm not sitting all day. Ooh. Gotta stretch the arms too. Oi. Gotta do some of this stuff. Yeah, like some wrist rolls. Anyone on the keyboard all day, do your wrist rolls. Oh yeah, martial prowess is 25% now. Oh yeah! Hype. Helm Gorse. If he Gorsts me, I'll have the archers. We'll be okay. He's taking a while though. This guy's thinking. It's not a good matchup for vampire counts, so it makes sense that they're thinking. Yeah, Dark Elves have the AP Cav. Cold Wind Knights are weird though. They like come in and out of popularity. They like swap places with Dark Riders super often. Looks like the games have been going well today. Yeah, only one loss. Kind of because I just goobered the beginning. Although I do think that match would have been close even if I did play it really well. Have to be a little careful. Strigoi. Please give me a Strigoi. I want to kill it with my Silver Helms. Let me at him. Oh, I should be at 5 wins. Whoops, daisies. I missed the last one. Heavy Cav is only good if it's fast. I will say being slow heavy cav is quite the liability. Some people can make it work though. Was this 2020? Man, dude, old Warhammer. Back when Vampire Coast was coming onto the scene. And Depth Guard were actually strong for the only time in their entire existence. CA did Depth Guard so dirty. They were kind of like the OG Wrathmongers. But instead of what happened to Wrathmongers, where they get slightly nerfed but are still really good, they just got nerfed into the ground. And the poor guys never recovered since, though sometimes you still see them. Alright, ready, good luck, have fun. Vampire counts, have at thee. We're gonna see 15 units. Nothing too crazy. And I just gotta remember to get my magic. Because very likely I'll need to final transmute them. Great thing though, if we see a flying necromancer, you can kill them in about 2.5 final transmutations. Kind of wish I had a Deathcaster in reserve. Final transmute them twice, summon in the Deathcaster, and then just snipe them. Yes, the archers. Chat keeping me ready. We are in the semis right now, so if we lose this, we are out. So I appreciate your backseating. So very likely the first thing I should summon are the archers. They are simply too important to pass up. There we go. Now, I will be able to capture me some points very quickly. So that'll be quite fun. And we're gonna see this Strigoi. He has Gaze of Nagash. If Nagash doesn't have the Gaze of Nagash as a bounce spell, CA absolutely dropped the ball. Just bring that up now. While we're still waiting for that DLC. I can pepper the Crypt Horrors a little bit, That's just gonna slow him down a little. It's not really gonna do that much. But just a little bit of salt and pepper will go a long way. And then, as promised, we get the archers. This means my opponent can't split up onto multiple points. They will have to deal with the archers one way or another. And that will buy me a lot of time. Now, these are Foot White Kings. They're not a problem. Foot White Kings are kind of chumpy. They're doing a good job dodging, though. Alright. A few summons here and there. Alright. Just keep getting the archers in. Maybe a free charge here. If he's not paying attention, no brace. That's already a few thousand damage just from the charge. I'll take that. Yeah, and he's just kind of walking up. There's nothing too crazy going on here, though. As long as I avoid the White Kings, we're good. And we're going to see some fanning out. So my opponent is like, oh boy, I'm not up trading. I got to capture the points. How do you get to the points when you're being cycle charged into oblivion? We shall see. Lord, though, he's going for my Lord. He wants a kill on her. Makes sense. See if I can do this. Oh, Gaze of Nagash incoming. Body block at Silver Helms. Thank you very much. For those of you that don't know, gaze spells can be blocked with cavalry. So those guys just tanked probably 14 winds of magic. Absolute chads. Barely took any damage themselves. Love to see it. And now that I have all my archers at the ready, I think he's just like 10 times dead. Just a million times. There's absolutely no way they come back from this. Because you can see the trading. It lies, obviously. Most of my damage is from impact hits. But seriously, this is... I've taken like no damage. Took one gaze to my cavalry. They've already lost a bunch of zombies, a bunch of skeletons. I have just a million archers plonking away. And yeah, the corpse cart's on the run. It's an unholy lodestone, which means it's kind of expensive too. Yeah, let's just get in here. Now, if the Shigori lands now, can I bully him? I think I can, because I have so many archers, right? They're even taking some free pot shots on him. Gotta remember my abilities. There we go. The great thing about the cavalry, too, is we severely out-capture away my opponent. So you can see I gave up this point so that this one just does not get impacted at all. Is that a Gaze of Nagash on the archers? The desperation, man. Gets a lot of damage, though. I'm surprised. But still, Gaze of Nagash on an archer unit is not amazing. They're really just letting loose on that lord instead of this infantry glob. I think I want to change that. Let's kill us some Graveguard next. They're definitely not going to like this part. And then I think we just start spamming these dudes. Yeah. Let's get more cav in here. Oh, the Graveguard. They're running. And they're actually getting out of there. Good micro from my opponent. Will it be salvageable, though? I don't think so. With so many ships company flooding the fields now, it's definitely going to be a little awkward. Oh, we have some Stearnsmen over there. All right. Dude, Plague of Rust. They gotta run away for 45 seconds. For 6 winds of magic, that's not too bad. Now he's gonna try and move in. Plague of Rust is still active, man. You can't get in there. I have infinite magic. And he still only has the 1 point. He did steal this one, though. Never mind. Whiffs another Gaze of Nagash. A little unfortunate. But, yeah, now we're seeing a lot of these guys crumble. I suspect a... Oh, crap. Is that a lord? Is it a free lord? Get him. Beat him up. Beat him up. Get him. He landed. He landed. Beat him up. This is it. This is where the plays are made. The Lord has chosen death. We got the final transmutation. I just need to actually get the kill, right? Final transmutation will cook fairly well. Ship's company will be able to buffer for me quite well. Come on, beat him up. I gotta get my good cavalry, like my fresh cavalry on top of him to really secure that kill. You can see he's running. He doesn't like it. Let's get that book ability. He's being slowed by the tree line. That's solid. Beat him up. Don't let him escape. Get another one. Oh boy. And the damage is good. Now, it still ain't over just yet. Obviously, there's some bats coming in, but he's already taken a lot of damage, and there's another final transmutation to be had very soon. I definitely look forward to that. We crumbled some zombies, and I still have my 1 point, which is super important. You can see he's had enough. He's gonna back it up. Now, I didn't manage to kill him, unfortunately. So that means a lot of my damage for the last few minutes has been a little wasted. There is that to consider. Now, what I can do, though, is just another massive final transmutation on their face. I think that'll do really well. Because it's going to kill both White Kings, right? Then, of course, the Lord is basically done for. He can't really participate in any more battles without risking his life. I still have enough for another big final transmutation maybe in the future. The only thing that I don't like is I'm kind of just stuck in this fight here. And it's not as pretty as one might hope for. We got some doggos too. Coming in for the flank. I think we'll be okay though. I do have to be a little careful too. There's a lot of healing on the vampire count side. The killing off the White Kings is certainly good. I have to single out the crypt horrors though, and I have to start thinking about points, however. Ooh, that's some good dog damage though. Yeah, let's just I don't know where I want to cast this. Got some crypt horrors flanking too. I don't like that. At least we got the dogs. How's the final transmuting going? Yeah, we're kind of waiting on it. What I really want, secure another point, right? At least we haven't lost this one. That's the most important thing. That means that I have time. And with a build like this, time is absolutely your friend. You can see he's coming on in. He wants to get the Lord doing anything, right? That's the sign that, you know, they're really just trying to make plays. But here's the problem. I am made out of magic. So, once again, we're going to drop it like it's hot. Get that final transmutation on the Lord. And hopefully put him into place. That should be quite damaging. There you go. Big final transmutation. Gonna need to back up the archers though. Ooh. Okay, he's kind of tussling pretty hard. The voice crack. It could be slightly better. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, and he routes off my Lord. Dang. All right, this guy's actually kind of cooking. Slightly unfortunate. I will be able to secure this point though, and I can probably just turn this into a ticket victory. But he did force me to bail on this situation, which is actually surprising. Opponent making the battle difficult. Lord is still booking it too. She's not even back yet. Finally rallies. This Chagor is going to keep healing. So what I really want to do is to just pull back for a second. Get the points secured. There we go. And then, yeah, capture race some. I will say, though, this ended up being a little bit sketchy. Okay. At least I have that point underway. I'm happy that I don't have to deal with White Kings. But I don't like that we have the Sternsmen still alive here. I definitely need to do that Archer Crossfire that we did earlier. If the Lord doesn't rally, that would be insane. Alright, we're good. Okay, and I have the Fireborn here. That's going to be a big swing play for sure. Alright, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Alright. We can start bullying the Sternsmen. Yeah, there we go. And then I can start resecuring this point. We got our Cav here. So the point shall be mine. Doggos will have a very hard time evacuating. But I'm still only on 1 point. Now, my opponent is forced to split up their forces. But I will say, I am a little worried. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. I think if I kill the Lord here, though, we're good. Those doggos are definitely going to be suffering. And I think we're still up trading pretty severely. But they certainly made this a tough one. Where's this lady at? Okay, she's doing okay. Yeah, I got some fresh Fireborn here, cooking them up. The damage that they do is absurd. Though, whether or not they kill him is a different story. I am out of magic too, mind you. So I think I'm gonna have to dip from here and go for the middle point instead. A little awkward. Just a smidge, just a smidge. We're gonna chuck our last spell over there. Lord did manage to escape, but I can play the points. I think that's gonna be my victory condition. We play the points and we're good. It is a little sus though, bringing the game down to this close of a situation. I don't like it that much. You, lady, need to hide behind this one tree over here. Thank goodness. The tree! The tree, it saved me. He wasted a lot of winds of magic, I must say, on trying to snipe my dudes. I'm very thankful for that. But, I don't know. It's still looking a little sus. I'm not gonna lie. Opponents are making this very difficult. Another big surround on the Lord, though, is good. Okay. We got the point. Very good. And the Fireborn are running. I am out of things to summon, though. That's not good. Crap, if she gets routed, that would be so bad. Okay, we're doing all right. So Lord will live. I can probably kill off the Vargeists. But the middle point is in flux. I have to be a little careful about that. I will be able to summon more cavalry. Just get them out now, rather than later. And just don't lose this point for the next little while, right? That's pretty simple. I think, yeah, I'll be alright. Ah, crap, she's gonna die. I think the odds of her living here are real low, unless she can hide. Oh, by the Crypt Horrors. She does get murdered, but it is a very important but. We are able to hold on to the point still. Leadership's not going to be great, though. I think this point's going to swing very soon. Oh, this Blood Knights? Okay, you mad lad. I think if I just trade out my Fireborn, we're still okay. Of course, the Dragon Lord ain't going to be able to hold too well either. And I have my triple Archer play here. Triple Archer back cap shenanigans. As long as this point doesn't get secured, I'm happy. There's going to be one dog coming on in. Oh boy, when the archers are running in to secure the point, you know it's getting sketch. I think I'm barely going to steal this one though. And then even though he gets this one, I still be okay. Ooh, kind of sketch though. Kind of sketch. Some bats show up. Interesting. Ah, come on, you darn archers. Hold. Hold. Oh, this is going to be real sketchy. Dude, losing the Lord finally after all that tussling. After all the dodging, she ain't coming back. Oh no, I think we're gonna lose. Dang. Dang, well played by my opponent getting that Lord snipe, I swear. He worked hard for it. He worked super hard for it. But yeah, it's starting to crumble. I shouldn't have taken that fight against the Vampire Count so aggressively. That definitely is what did me in. The big middle fight. And I could have secured these points way sooner, right? Because I was just grinding here. I was fighting. But the points were... they were dilly-dallying. I also didn't get the Lord kill, which is really bad. I spent a lot of resources trying to finish him off. But barely not killing the Lord is definitely the worst thing that can happen. I will be able to resummon my Lord, though. And you know what? Never underestimate the shenanigans. Now, this point is obviously on lock. I don't think there's any way I steal it unless I get a bunch of reavers in. This one, if I bring in all the boys. So there's a Blood Knight Lances. I kind of have to make a play for this point if we're going to win this. So I think this is what we do. We bring in all the capture weight we can. And we go for one last play. And just hope that this point doesn't fall. I think it's going to be lost because the Blood Knights are in. But I might as well try. Come on, get in there. Dang it. GG, well played. Ooh, close one though, close one. I would definitely be comfortable bringing this build against like a Norska or something. I really shouldn't have lost these points. I lost it to like a Crypt Ghoul, I think. Yeah, GG, well played. I think this is a great stress test of the build, though. It's definitely really good. It's not broken good. But it does not bad. It comes down mostly to how good of a player I am, which is a good sign. Whew, super close though, super close. Let's take a look. Archers did all right. Man, that Lord though, him living. Barely. The Final Transmutations did great though. Really bullied the White Kings, which was important. But yeah, I honestly, if I didn't summon the archers and I stuck with the cavalry, I might have been able to get more work done. I don't know though. I definitely wouldn't have lost the point. Woo. Rad Clan, I know. Rad Clan with the clutch. Stay in lobby. I'll rejoin as spectator. Alright, last game of the day. A solid test of the build. Oh, I think, yeah, here we go. Spectates. Solid test of the build, but I was not able to bring it up against Chosen. I think if we do see this build, I will probably try it as like a high elf Norska counter, a high elf like chaos counter, where they're typically just spamming infantry. I think that's where it does well. Like where they're spamming infantry and they don't have too much armored cavalry. And then we're good. At the 6-minute mark, you were reminded of a million other Vampire Counts games. Lots of absorbed damage, but ready to be healed up. Yeah. They got a lot of value off the late game grind. I wasn't able to get the Grave Guard in a shootable position. Whew. You didn't unsummon routed units. It's true, I did have a moment where I was not able to summon in stuff. And then we brought in the Fireborn, but a little too late. Looks like Chosen is won. Looks like they won their match, so they'll be coming on in. Very exciting. And it's going to be Chosen counterpicking Vampire Counts with 3 factions. I imagine they're going to have Khorne, which will be banned. Slaanesh, which will be banned. And it's going to be the strongest faction versus Counts that rushes. That isn't Khorne or Slaanesh. They might go Norska, which I would say is actually fairly chill for both sides. They both have some play there. They could go Chaos or Beastmen, but I don't know if Chosen wants to play Beastmen here. Gotta go. Peace out. Good luck with the final matches. Thank you. I assume you're talking about Turin's tournament because we got knocked out. We got knocked out by the Counts. All right. What's Chosen gonna do though? What's it gonna be? The map is Altar of Hashut? There's no way. That should not... No, it's Altar of the Champion. They selected the wrong map. There we go. This is a pretty good map for Vampire Counts, by the way. You got 2 close capture points. Exciting, exciting. What's it gonna be? Michu got the Counts. They're locked in. Is Turin's tournament? Yeah, it's gonna be like a little under... It's like gonna be like 20-ish hours from now, probably. Turin will be streaming just the top 4. I still need to get myself out of top 8. So, we'll see. We'll see is kind of where I stand on that situation. I think once I get into top 4, it actually gets better for me because I can make use of all the factions I know. Let me actually bring up the leaderboard for that tournament. So we beat Tim the Wilder. We're going to be up against the winner of Blood Penguin and Serica. Both players are pretty strong. But I would say generally not super scary. Like on the bottom bracket, there's Chosen, Berserk, Charix. I think those are like 3 really big names that I'm worried about. For Blood Penguin and Serica, Blood Penguin's mostly a Bretonia main, Serica's mostly a Wood Elf main. So I'm probably not going to take this high elf build into Bretonia. Well, I can just ban Bretonia, and then we can see what they bring. They'll probably bring Empire, right? If they go for Empire, and I go my usual Norse Chaos shenanigans, though, I think it's okay. Bretonia mentioned! Watch Blood Penguin just lose. No Bretonia games. That would be sad. Pope Patty's true Bretonian. Is it Nurgle? I should have known. I bet they went Slanesh, Khorne, and Nurgle. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get a fun match then. Nurgle time, people. All right, it was worth losing. Is that hard copium? Maybe. I think I'm able to have fun no matter what happens. That's probably what's happening. But a lot of people would be like, ew, 2 slow factions. But this is actually hilarious because it is supremely Nurgle favored. You see Plague Drones, you see Kugath. This is where you see all the cool stuff. Unfortunately, no Uncle for Uncle, but maybe a Great Unclean one. Exalted Great Unclean one. Oh boy, how is this gonna go? Oh man, I want to look at the builds, but I should not, lest it hint at what the players are thinking. Vampire counts? Maximilianaire knows this matchup really well. I know Maximilianaire likes to go for the like Strigoi plus Terrorgeist combo. Bring in a little bit of that. Is that gonna do it though? Is that gonna do it? Let's see here. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of, I don't know. If you go wide infantry, you just get murdered by Kugath. There's the mobile vampire counts build, though, where you just go mass mobility and play capture points. On a map like this, it's a little more difficult. I would not expect it. But maybe... I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot vampire counts can do. I think those are the main options. I'd be surprised if we saw something else. For Nurgle, you're basically playing the same game no matter what. This is the one matchup where Kugath is still king. I think it's very likely we see a Kugath or an Exalted Great Unclean one. Just because they outduel. They can 1v2 vampire count single entities. Like 2 Terrorgeists on Kugath, the Terrorgeists actually lose if Kugath has any amount of support. And with the Plague Ogre great weapons, that's definitely a big whoops-a-doopsies. And of course, Nurgle mobility maxing is just garbage. You should not do a Nurgle mobility max. End of sentence. Maybe an Air Force, though. I think if Nurgle really wanted to get a mix-up, they would go for an Air Force. Like Angels of Decay, Deathhead Plague Drones. Probably no Lords or Heroes, though. Technically, you can take the little flying guy and he can AoE heal, but he's been out of the meta since the Warhammer 2 factions got added. So we wait. We wait and see. How will they do? So man, tomorrow's gonna be a really long day. So I have to play, if I make it to the grand finals, it's 1 best of 3 and then 2 best of 5s, probably with a little bit of downtime between them. Although Turin might do the back and forth switching for the top 5 or top 4. Where, like, you know, you alternate games, and that gives you even less downtime between matches. Which is great for viewers, more stressful for the players. 8 Black Knights. I think it's actually not bad, especially because they have Strider, so the trees won't hinder them. How much is on the line? Typically, for Turin Grand Finals, it's like a couple to a few $100s. It's like a nice sum. But who knows? Maybe nothing's on the line. Last time it was a qualifier for Creative Assembly's big tournament. So we kind of wait and see. You know what? CA should pair with Turin and make it where if you win a grand finals, you get to pick one unit that gets rebalanced. I would totally grind for months so that I can get the bloated corpse looked at. That would be glorious. Imagine though I win the tournament, CA reduces bloated corpse by 25 gold. GOAT status on the line. I lost Turin's last big tournament, but I won the CA tournament. So I think it's already wavering. Oh boy, vampire counts are locked in. What's Nurgle gonna do? What are they doing? What are they doing? Bloaty is good, yet with the times. I did have a very mild bloated corpse success with the artillery defense with them. Was it actually a strong strategy? No. But they technically paid for themselves, I guess. What Warhammer mini would be the most meaningful to me? Like, if I were to just get a Warhammer mini. With the most meaningful Warhammer mini. Is there a Luther Harkin mini? Luther Harkin is the guy that got me into like competitive tournament play. Whoops. Because back when I was an up and coming player, it was Vampire Coast that I would play. Or, you know what? Zombie handguns. Just a thick, 120 unit of zombie handgunners. That would be sick. Chosen's taking their sweet time though. Come on. Let's get it on. Alright, I'm gonna look at. Should I look at the build? Should I? Michu still adjusting theirs. We'll give them some time though. This is a qualifier. You want to make sure you can make it to the grand finals. Alternatively, I could get a great clean one for the memes. Anyone see those minis? I'm sure most of you have. Best mini ever. Not official Games Workshop. But yeah, somehow more terrifying than a normal Exalted Great and Clean one. Currently 4 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses with Betonia. Hell yeah. Are you playing another match today? No, we're just going to do this and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get some rest for the grand finals tomorrow. Okay, is Chosen like making the army or what? Dude, okay, so the army looks basically done. I think they're stuck in fine-tuning hell. Where they're just like, they have like 100 gold left and they're just trying to finagle things to make the perfect spend. Surely they will arrive at something eventually. Meanwhile, Michu is also making adjustments here and there. Both players just making the tiniest of adjustments, but they're both ready now. We can move on with our lives. Let's see it. Epidemius. We got Plague Bearers. We have Angels of Decay. Oh my. Oh, look at that. It's an Epidemius build. So Epidemius has the physical resist buff, but Graveguard, I believe they still have magic attacks. So he's kind of hoping that there's none of that business. Crypt Horrors, though, will do a lot less damage. Having the Air Force is pretty cool, too, and Epidemius should buff them also. But for the Vampire counts, what are we looking at? Let's take us a look-see. Nope, that's the Nurgle side. For the Vampire counts, it's double White King, who would have guessed. Best heroes on the roster. They got the Scab Scrath. We got the Strigoi. Command of the Unliving. Alright. Nothing too crazy, though. I think there's... Yeah, it's a Vampire Counts build. You know, you got some zombies. Sternsmen. They don't have magic attacks anymore. Graveguard lost it. I think Black Knights still have it then? Is that what it was? Now I'm questioning. As you can see, though, Nurgle going for the early capture points. They know that the more time they buy, generally, the better they're off. It's very difficult for Vampire Counts to uptrade into Nurgle here. And for a matchup like this, generally speaking, Vampire Counts are the faster faction. It's the race to whoever's slower. No Mortis Engine. It's a little crazy, but oftentimes you see Mortis Engine summoned in after the ammunition is spent. So he's probably just waiting for the Angels of Decay to use everything up. Immediately, though, White Kings going for the capture point. Trying to get that early capture. They will have a hard time contesting the Marauder Horsemen. But maybe they're just there to slow them down. It's not like they have much else to do. A little bit of a change of mind, though, Michu. Going to relocate instead. And as you can see, Nurgle aiming for that central position. War Shrine is going to ensure everything gets healed. But the big question, what does Epidemius bring to the table? Tally of Pestilence. As units die, demonic units can get 20% physical resist and a whopping 15 melee attack, 55 meters. That is a Grill Relique and a half. Super impactful. As the Vampire Counts, they don't have that much magic damage. This is just a normal Unholy Lodestone. No magic imbuement here. They do technically have a corpse card that can, but not this time. Some Nurglings took a little bit of Scab Scrathin, I think. Overall, nothing too crazy. So what now? Well, the Vampire Counts look like they're just trying to scoot onto the point. They will be able to secure the far point, which is good for them. And they'll probably be able to out-capture-weight the forces of Nurgle. The question, though, is whether or not they can actually win the fight. Some Fellbats get summoned, and some Vargeists. Alright, they're going to be dueling the Furies and the Plague Drones, which are just objectively better here, if you ignore the price point. So Fellbats are taking a lot of damage. Vargeists get a massive charge on their face, and they are melting. That is half HP off the Vargeists immediately. Angels of Decay have absurd stats. And overall, I'd say a slightly uncomfortable position for the Vampire Counts. Yes, they have their Lord here chipping away at the Plague Drones, but this accelerates the trading. And as the armies kind of get smaller, I think I still favor the Nurgle side. I think they want things to get traded out because Vampire Counts are playing the more mobile game. But Nurgle, if everyone's dead, you know, well, this will still be alive, this little pocket. And that's where they pull the lead. Weirdly enough, though, no fighting. Nurgle decides to take the engagement, realizing, hey, maybe I do win this. And they go ahead and charge in. They're going to get the War Shrine in, I'm sure, soon. Yep. But Air Forces have traded out. Vampire Counts technically coming out slightly ahead, too. That's pretty nice for them. But the Angels of Decay are still alive. They do solo the Strigoi Vampire Lord, too. So they are still definitely a massive threat. And as you can see, the healing has begun. Tally of Pestilence, already giving +3 melee attack. You already got 0.01 healing per second. Leadership, melee defense up the wazoo. 41 melee defense, almost as much as the Silver Helm. So this is obviously going well for Nurgle. But this, a little worse. You don't want to be losing your Plague Drones. They are what commands the sky in this situation. A little bit of a fight here. Pretty nice heal. Pretty good in the heck overall. But Nurgle still has this point. Tickets are in their favor, and like I said, as long as they feel like they can uptrade, they're pretty happy. Right now, I don't think any trading is happening, though. These units, they just kind of glued themselves together. And all the micro is being spent here on the mobility instead. So let's take a look at that. Because I don't think anything's going to move here. Everybody's healing too much. Damage is too low. Nurgle's probably slightly winning, because you can see enemy forces are taking damage. Nurgle a little less so, maybe. It's looking pretty even. So the big plays are made here. Like, look at these guys. Barons of the Bog. They got a massive debuff. But if they die, it's not too good. Miasma of Rot has activated. Weirdly enough, though, no Vargeist charge. Interesting. I guess he was a little worried about the Furies. And instead, it's going to be a chase of the Angels of Decay. Interesting, interesting. By the way, I am very surprised that Nurgle wins the capture point race here. I know Chaff don't have the best capture weight, but it does look like they should have at least a little bit. It's not like these Plague Bearers are elite or anything. It's probably the Nurglings that are providing most of it. Epidemius doing his bestest. Not a lot of value, but of course he's providing absurd physical resistance, right? So now we have that melee attack boost. 55 meters is absurd. And he's also fighting the air battle on top of Epidemius. That's huge. Look at them. They're getting the tally of Pestilence. That brings them up to 40% physical resist. Angels of Decay do not give a crap about anything right now. They want to fight all the units, if at all possible. Forsaken are also really good versus the Horrors. The Barons of the Bog have survived. There is a bit of a capture here. But I'm a little bit worried about the Vampire counts trading. Look at this. You got some Horsemen parked underneath. Lots of kind of slow movements. Obviously, the infantry isn't moving much. But I think this play over here is a slight outmaneuvering. And the Barons of the Bog, once they get in, they will be able to give their Miasma of Pestilence, or Miasma of Rot and Wasting Sickness, to reduce the Vampire count's damage further and also increase that vigor. And you can see that's very much needed. The Corpse Cart has kept the Grave Guard at full vigor. But the Plague Bearers are getting tired. Look at that. Very tired. -2 leadership. Not the best place to be in. Man, look at those Angels of Decay, though. What's their value so far? 2,600. Wow. For a 1,700 unit, that is crazy good. Up trading 1,000 gold over their price point. You'll love to see it. They are taking a bit of damage from the Strigoi anytime he does manage to hit them with that anti-large. But pretty scary. I'd be a little worried if I was the Vampire counts. Value lead is going the way of Nurgle. Epidemia still alive. Nurgling's healing. Everything's healing over here. And hey, look at that. The sniping of the Corpse Cart with the Angels of Decay. Very nice tactical play. All these undead units are now starting to get tired. And as they get tired, they're going to get a lot more useless, for sure. A little bit of kiting over here. Obviously, there's not a lot of crazy micro plays. I like to look at it at a tactical level, though, right? Kind of like a chess game, right? It's like, what key pieces are you able to take out? Like this air skirmish going on for so long means that this War Shrine can't get cycle charged. We got a little bit of Horseman maneuvering over here to capture the far point. I don't think Vampire counts have an answer unless they summon in cavalry or something. But this kind of wraparound is looking a little sketchy, right? We're actually seeing dire wolves. So these are capture doggos. But a little bit of a misplay because there's still no capture. What they can do, though, is they can snipe the Nurglings at the edges of the formation. These guys don't have armor. They actually have 0. And potentially from there, Vampire counts can re-secure capture weight. Still, though, surprisingly enough, no capture weight. With the death of the Nurglings, yes, there is now, and the Crypt Ghouls, barely capture weight. But Vampire counts are going to need more. And instead, they're summoning in the air game, which tells me this is probably going to be an up-trading type of playstyle. I think Vampire counts aren't trying to win the cap point race. I think they actually want to kill Nurgle, which I think is an absurd idea. I'm a little worried. Just look at how battered all these guys are. It's not very good. Of course, fighting on top of Epidemius is kind of crazy too. He has 420 armor piercing. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, if you don't uptrade, it's not going to look very good. Vampire counts is starting to fall behind. You can see how close it is, though. If Vampire counts could just have 5 more capture weight on this point, they would be slowly getting it. But now time pressure is on, and they kind of just have to get the killing done. And I don't know if that's possible. Dogs are now running to the side. It's like tactical misplay, I'd say. And Chosen, showing that Nurgle has that counterpick potential. White Kings are not getting in there. The grind is long and arduous. Both sides are healing a rather immense amount. But yeah, look at Epidemius. So I can't believe he's going to win a tournament with Epidemius. What a mad lad. Yeah, he has a Cloud of Flies active. Dude, this Tally of Pestilence, though, that range is insane. Yeah, look at that. It's covering all the units in the blob. These Plague Bearers. Unending Plague Bearers. He still got 42 melee defense. Physical resist reduces the damage to take by half. Another good play though, the dogs come in. They're gonna get some nibbling on. And if he pushes the horseman off, no, there's no way he has capture weight. All the zombies are dead now. I think vampire counts just didn't have enough. Not enough oomph. And they ended up taking the fight. Giga Chad Epidemius, yeah. I'm surprised, well, okay, he kind of needed to win the air game. Right? Before he could cycle charge with his lord. But Nurgle just kind of countering the air game with more air game kind of just put the vampire counts behind. They also had the horsemen to support the fight too. So the Strigoi was never able to get what he was meant to do. Strigoi is here to kill off the War Shrine, to kill off Epidemius, but really did not have much play. I do think Kugath would have still won this though. I think, by the way, you know, as cool as Epidemius is, I'm pretty sure Kugath is just better because he's a Mortis engine. He would have killed all this significantly faster. Sure, he's a bit more expensive, but like literally just cut the War Shrine and Epidemius, get Kugath. You don't need a heal. Kugath just solos. But hey, an Epidemius win is still an Epidemius win. Some Plague Bearers in the back. Bogging down the White Kings. More Nurglings though. I don't know how I feel about Nurglings. Since they died to the dogs pretty quickly earlier, but yeah, vampire counts are just struggling to get any amount of trades now. They're behind on tickets. They're behind on value. They're gonna need to make some sort of play. But yeah, grandfather takes another. Apparently, the dead, very susceptible to plagues. I guess that kind of makes sense. Maggots from within. Look at this guy though. He's kind of getting worked on by the White King. What is this? Oh, are we actually gonna see some magics? Took a while actually. I just noticed. He chosen one without magic. He's finally brought it in though, and he's gonna get that Rancid Visitations Overcast to bully the Strigoi. Now he is a tanky guy. I don't think he's actually gonna die from this. Yeah, his regeneration's a little too good. So Caster was actually not very useful. Kind of funny to see him at the late game. But yeah, apparently you don't need magic to beat vampire counts. Wow. And he will get chased off. That's a free pick. That's a free pick for the vampire counts. Kind of shows how far behind they are. I do like the horsemen, by the way. Because after you've gone value and the kind of stress trying to steal points, your horsemen can just take anything that's undefended. Look at this one Plague Bearer. Oh my gosh. They managed to block both skeleton spearmen from getting on the point. One corpse cart doing its bestest. But it shall not be enough. How's Epidemius not a Mortis engine? Ah. They are in campaign. Oh. Interesting. It's probably because Nurgle already has a lot of Mortis engines and they don't want so much overlap. But yeah, vampire counts are going to need to get the next 2 points in about 2 minutes. That is basically impossible. Also dibs on the band name Maggots from Within. It's pretty hype. Pretty metal. Dude, this is Plague Bearers, man. Fun fact, Plague Bearers trade better than Chaos Warriors. If it's just melee. If you ignore the fact that their armor is lower and they have no shields, they trade better than Chaos Warriors while also being 50 gold cheaper. It is rather impressive. So Plague Bearers are actually the perfect unit versus vampire counts. They need to bring a magic damage corpse cart for that to work, and that's a very uncommon corpse cart pick. Strigoi. The resummon of the Angels of Decay, casual 5,000 value. That is actually not abnormal. I think if we added the Angels of Decay to every faction in the game, vampire counts become the worst faction in the game. You could say the same about Tempest, though, so I guess let's not get ahead of ourselves, but man, getting that air superiority is insane. So much value. Yeah, there you go. It's over 5,000. Very hard to get it over 9,000, unfortunately, but impressive nonetheless. They're going in to finish the job. Goose Lord. Running for his life. Only 25 seconds left. There's the barrage. Big Deep's Curse of the Slug. No more dodging for you. Strigoi Vampire Lord, though. Very high leadership. Gonna be sticking with it till the end. Gonna be dying instead of crumbling. And he lives. He lives. GG, well played though. Crazy Valley. What did Epidemius do though? Obviously he gave a lot of Fizz Res. Wow. Grinding in melee the whole time. Less than 500. Let's be real. This game was won when the Angels of Decay were brought. Very good fighting on top of Epidemius though with the Angels of Decay. I think that was very smart. That did swing it significantly in Nurgle's favor. Caster, it was kind of memeing though, right? A lot of the end game was just memeing. The Nurglings did all right. They kind of got killed by doggos towards the end. Not a huge fan of them, but I will admit the extra 10 capture weight did have a really big impact on the middle fight. Stopped the point from getting captured. So I would say still very smart. So congratulations, Chosen, with the Nurgle win. Trizik, if you are there, if you could give Chosen their tournament win, that would be amazing. Congrats. Chosen on the Nurgle finals win! Exclamation mark. Your tournament win will be given shortly. All right. Let's see here. Trizik, let me know when you give Chosen the tournament win. All right. Yeah, fun day today. We got to try out some high elf shenanigans. I think we've stumbled across a very nice build that we copied from somebody else. And I will be very tempted to try it out versus a variety of different factions, possibly in the grand finals too. I do have an idea of what I want to be playing in the grand finals, and there's a lot of factions to pick from. So I think High Elves will definitely be more of a top 5 type of faction, but we'll see. Lots of potential to be had for sure. They also counter Wood Elves, which is perfect. But yeah, Michu, when you play Vampire counts into this format, so you can either lock in a faction or you can counterpick. If you're the counterpicking player, you get to pick 3 factions to counterpick with. So at the end of the day, I'm sure Chosen picked some real rough matchups for Vampire counts. Just straight up like Korn, Slanesh, Nurgle, and just crushed his face. I think that was basically the play, and it worked out. Chosen showing that they are ready to go for the tournament. I actually do wonder, where is Chosen placed in this tournament right now? Have they been knocked out yet? No, they're going to be facing Navigator probably tomorrow. Super exciting. But for now, yeah, stumbled upon. I think someone messaged me. I'm sorry that I forgot who messaged me. If you message me again, I will clarify that it was you that gave me the build and the player that ran the build. But yes. Deepest apologies. Credit where credit is due. It is not my build. But anyways, I'm going to call it a day for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the grand finals. And I think that's about it. Peace. And have a great rest of your day.